Hello, everybody. We've got a fantastic and just jam packed show for y'all today. For everyone watching, you're probably already in this call, but we are going to do a mock draft. We are getting a little bit closer here. It's July 26th on time of recording, and we've got a movie draft. So I'm joined by just a metric shit ton of people today. I have got let me go ahead and first introduce our out of town visitors. For all of you Apex folks that might be listening, we're listening to prime folks that I have the unique pleasure of somehow sharing a league with because they are for some reason generous enough to be friends or related to Kevin Kern. We have King Hoot and Tate the Great joining us today, gentlemen. If you would like to say hello, there are some people out there that have not had the pleasure of hearing your voices before.
Hey, you want to take the honors and go first?
Sure, why not? I'm going to finish the drafting first, so might as well go first here. It's an honor. Long-time listener, first-time joiner of the pod. Happy to be on.
Well, it's a great pleasure to have you, Mr. Hoot. You as well, sir. Um,
Thank you. Happy to be here. It's a great honor and privilege, as Tate said. First time caller, long time listener.
Wow.
The only thing I ask is that y'all don't judge me for being related to Kevin.
Well,
Get the fuck out of all this bullshit.
the fact of the matter is that it's the only reason his character has held on as long as it has because he's related to you. So, we're also joined, unfortunately, by Kern yet again. He's making it for this time. We are glad that you're here, Kern. We've got Lippy here with us. We have Neil. We have Timo. We have Jonah. Gentlemen, thank you all for making it. I'm going to go ahead and start the draft just in the interest of making sure everyone gets some sleepy by. So we are doing movies. So King Hoot, you are on the clock, and as you make your player pick, let me know what the first 101 for the movie draft is. No pressure.
No, sounds good. I got my write up. I'm ready to go. So first things first, I want to walk through a little bit how I'm looking at this.
Sure.
So I want a roster on my movie for my movie draft, similar to a fantasy football roster. I got positions and I want to fill them out. So I'm covered some different categories.
Okay.
I want award/prestige. I want some comedy. I want some action. I want a foreign film. I want an animated film. I really want to get like a full roster of different things in here. So
You're going to lose
Fuck,
this
holy
draft.
shit. I just fucking
my
passed out.
1-1 in the movie draft is Apocalypse Now, the director's
Wow.
cut, and
Wow.
this is my
Shit.
foundation.
Boo.
Yeah.
Oh,
This is my foundation. This is my Academy submission that's going to win me the awards. This is my RB1. This is like what I'm building the rest of my roster out of based on.
Okay.
It's a movie that's almost killed its director and both its stars. It's not highly rewatchable, but it's a masterpiece in every sense of the word.
Sure.
And like that, I'm drafting my RB1 of Jonathan Taylor.
Okay. Well, we'll figure out how that movie plays. I mean, obviously, it's a fantastic film. It's interesting. It does. Yeah, I like what you said about it not being hyper rewatchable. I don't know if I'd ever rewatch it, but it is a great movie.
Yeah.
Neil, are you? Let's see here. We've got Neil muted, but I know that's because he's thinking up his picks right now. Of that, I'm certain.
Oh, while he's thinking, a question. You said that Kern was
Well, he
here
made his
this
pick.
time. Am I to understand that he didn't draft that food draft?
Well, the thing is he was drafting remotely for that. So
got it.
we get the pleasure of hearing it from the
A&F
horse's mouth. Yeah, what's up, Kurt?
A&F lost my list in the mail and found some fucked up fucking list that he came up with. So, as much as I like croutons, I can't claim that.
Well, you love
would have gone off the board. Popo's would have gone off the board 101. So
Let's see, Neil. If you're with us, what is your movie pick, Neil? I had to double check because I had Neil's server muted for a while. So
I see Neil's muted and chilling and just hanging out in the Discord. I see his happy little ass just looking at me.
Yeah, I see him there too. I'll tell you what, he might just get fucked here, and we might just go to Timo.
He gets Jack and Jill.
All right,
Yeah.
so placeholder. Timo's in direct contact with Neil, and for now, until we hear from him, he's getting Jack and Jill. Whenever he comes into Discord, we'll change that pick for him. Timo, go ahead and take the 103 for us and keep us going.
Man, I really hate to do this, and I know it's just a mock, so I'm gonna play with it. But I'll take Christian McCaffrey here.
Okay.
Not a huge fan. Missed too many games the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Anyway, movie pick. Let's see.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's Christian McCaffrey's a terrible movie.
That's an awful.
Yeah, that would be the biopic would be awful, especially the back end. Anyway, oh man, recency bias, and plus it's just a great movie. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. I saw that pretty recently.
Cool.
You laugh, you cry, you think about life. Just an overall great movie. I would say it's rewatchable. And it got the multiverse better than Doctor Strange did. So that's what we're going for here.
Word.
Great pick. I had a shout out for it later in my draft, so love that pick. Great pick. The dildo fight is worth it alone.
Yes, yeah. Don't forget the anal plugs.
All right.
So,
Lippy, where are we at?
So we got to go with something a little classic, with our movie pick to start. We're gonna play it safe and go with Inception. Start with our movie pick. We're gonna go a little off the path though with this pick though in the actual mock. We're gonna go Najee, who might be the RB1 this year.
Wow,
Spicy the RB1 this
That's
year.
spicy.
we all know a corner is going to take Najee out. So.
Yeah, he is going to get hit by one of those corners. So
Oh yeah.
similar to Hoot, I'm gonna briefly go over my methodology for picks. I fuck the roster. I'm picking the best movies in terms of just my favorites. So I'm just gonna go down the list unless y'all snipe me, which seems unlikely. I'm gonna take the finest film ever made, which is Interstellar.
Wow.
And
My wife would agree with you.
yeah, I mean it's fucking fantastic, and I'm taking Cooper Kupp because he is the best receiver in football.
Oh, that was on my list. A&F. I had Interstellar there. All right, I'll keep it short and sweet here. Well, first off, pleasure to be back on the pod. I've been dragged just shamefully through the mud by these incel haters on Reddit. That is known as A&F and the fucking Goon Squad. So I'm happy to be back and shed some truth on you bitches. So this is a pretty easy pick here. I mean, the fact that he's still here, I think that you should argue that lots of wide receivers should be going ahead of all these assholes. But we're going to take Mr. Jefferson here with some elite floor wide receiver action. Expect great things. And for my
if this was draft day, I would have taken Jefferson at third. Anyway,
there you go, Timo. Fuck yeah, we love to see it. I'm going to go with I'm going to pick Inglourious Bastards.
Wow,
because
great pick.
I love me some Tarantino.
Sure. All right. Well, that takes us to Jonah. Curran, you haven't completely fucked it up yet. Jonah, take it away.
We got high power today, A&F.
That's my job to fuck it all up because I don't know what to do in this draft slot. But yes, while I think about this, I'll go ahead and do my 101, which I still think all of y'all is going to be The Princess Bride. It's got everything. The ultimate classic. Watch it for any reason whatsoever. Date night, wanting to avenge your father, poison your enemies, whatever you want to do. It's perfect.
Okay, so let me just. I've got a little bit of bad reception over here. It was Princess Bride,
I heard
right?
maybe two things. I heard 2 words of what Jonah said, but
oh shit,
it's a great movie.
Yeah, Princess Bride.
Word.
I think
I
great
won't
film.
explain it. Yeah, I won't go with that. Then my pick, I think we'll go with the running back. I think, I don't trust Minnesota at all, so I'll go Joe Mixon.
Okay. Fuck, I was born and hated Joe Mixon, but I know he's good. Just came out of the womb hating that guy. All right. Well, we're moving on along now. We're at the tail of the draft. Tate, what you get back to back here?
Okay. Let me ask a question. I think I know the answer, but
Sure.
in terms of franchises, you got to pick one in the franchise. You don't get the whole franchise based on what you pick.
I'm gonna
No,
go
you
ahead.
get one.
I'm gonna
You
go
get
ahead and say
You cannot
get
have
one.
the entire Cars trilogy. No.
I felt like that was going to happen, and I saw how the food draft went, so I just wasn't sure where we were
a
going
fair
with
question.
Well,
It's a fair question.
The adults are back to keep the ship going straight. That was a
Yeah.
absolute, just fucking chaotic food draft.
Kern, you drafted
Shepherd's
croutons.
pie, Shepherd's pie, even being discussed in the draft, automatically threw it to the shit list on IMDb. So you go ahead, take your pick.
This is how I know you're going to lose this draft too when you say things like that. But anywho,
Yeah.
please.
So
take it
I'm
away.
gonna go. I'm gonna go back to back here with. I'm gonna go Dark Knight,
Okay.
and
Amazing.
I'm gonna go Empire Strikes Back.
Oh wow, great picks. Great picks.
And then for draft wise, we're gonna go with a little bit of Mar, and
Depending on who
I was gonna go
back.
Swift, but yeah, that sucks. All right, cool. I will go Saquon. We're bouncing back.
Okay. Well, I mean, we'll see how that goes.
That's tough.
Good luck.
Tough pick take.
I hope for Saquon that he's back. I really do. But I'm scared of him. Jonah, we're back to you, good sir.
All right. My second film, I'm probably going to have to drop. Probably. I'm gonna go action superhero in this rap. No, never mind. I take that back. It's gonna be Saving Private Ryan.
Nice.
You know, Tom Hanks probably his best film, arguably. No one can say no to that.
No, I mean,
and then I
would agree.
I'll just. I'll probably go with some Devo just because of the versatility.
Yeah, interesting. They said he's good. I think they said today he's about to get paid. So.
Yeah.
What was Jonah's movie?
Saving Private Ryan.
Oh fuck, that was on my list too. All right, I'm getting sniped left and right, ANF. All right, so it's me. Let's see. Damn. Fuck it, I'm gonna lean into the 0RB and I'm going to take Mr. TD Lamb here. And for my movie pick, I feel like these are going to start going at some point, just for some nostalgia. But I want to get the best one on this trilogy. So let me get Lord of the Rings: Return of the King.
Okay, great movie.
Good choice.
My balls, Karen, like my balls.
Oh yeah. Lock it up.
So for my movie, like I said, I'm just going down my list. I'm going to take The Departed for my second movie.
Fuck.
That's a solid pick.
And for I'm so conflicted here. But let's see here. If I do this again, I'll draft him and then trade him to Lippy so Lippy can win the championship again. I'm going to draft Nick Chubb. And then we go to Lippy.
Wow. So we're gonna go like a movie that might be the best 4th of July movie there ever is. We're gonna go with Warrior, and if you don't love Warrior, I don't know what to tell you. Pick wise, Javante's easily the pick.
Real quick. Is that the UFC movie?
Oh yeah. Okay.
To be honest, I thought he was going to say Independence Day, and I was like, way too high. Way too high.
Tom Hardy always hits. I mean, he's so great.
So what's the 4th of July? I haven't seen this movie. I've seen every movie until now. This is the first
You've
one I
never
haven't
seen
seen.
Independence Day?
No,
You've never seen Warrior?
Warrior.
Wow.
I've never.
I've
seen
never
Warrior
not
either.
been happy seeing Warrior.
Warrior
is honestly maybe a top 3 movie of all
4th of July about? Hold on. What is 4th of July about Warrior? That's all I want.
The fight takes place on the 4th of July weekend.
Perfect.
And that's it.
It's a ripoff of Rocky. It's a UFC ripoff of Rocky. That's it.
Interesting. I'll have to
What
watch
a great
the 4th
movie.
of July.
I think it's a bit of a reach, but I'll allow it. Because I love
It might be the best movie of all time, honestly. What a great movie.
That just is not
What a
true.
great movie. I mean, you are the all-time coin leader, Lippy, so I'll take your word for it.
All right, my go.
Yes, it is. Thank you, sir.
Let's see. I don't know. I don't think it's much of a reach. First of all, staying in line with movies that have holidays associated with them.
Okay.
Next pickup is Die
no.
Hard.
Great pick.
Yeah.
As soon as
Great
you said
pick.
that,
Great
yeah,
pick.
yeah.
And then I'm going to take a risk here, and I'm going to draft Cam Akers. I think he's going to have a bounce back year. I don't think his playoff run was an indication of what he's going to do this season once he came back from an ACL or Achilles.
Yeah.
Damn, Timo's got a risky ass RB core right there. Going for the upside.
Yep.
Oh well, I saw Neil's little thing flicker.
Oh yeah, I'm here now.
Oh, let's
There he
go.
is.
All right, Neil. Here, what I'm gonna have you do is you're gonna replace Jack and Jill and make your second round pick.
Keep Jack and Jill.
Reservoir Dogs will replace Jack and Jill,
Fantastic.
That's a great pick.
You son of a bitch.
and
That's
There
a
Will Be
great
Blood.
pick.
Oh.
I drink your milkshake.
Yeah, that's a classic. That's a classic. I don't really like anybody in this spot right here. Well, I mean, Mark Andrews is cool, but fucking, I'll take Tyreek.
All right, Neil.
Hopefully, Tua can throw a ball further than 40 yards.
Neil, I cut out. What was that second movie pick?
There Will Be Blood.
Oh, okay, great. All right, well that brings us back to Hoot at the turn.
All right, I'm gonna do my movies first, and then I'll get to my
Word.
picks. So, love having had all of y'all make picks because it helps me reevaluate. I was gonna go just in the order of my films, but now seeing how y'all are picking, I'm gonna drop down a little bit because I don't want to get sniped here. So, I'm also gonna take a Lord of the Rings film, but I'm gonna take the Superior Two Towers.
Wow.
Superior Two Towers. Boo.
Yeah, the Superior Two Towers.
Boo.
Again, Lord of the Rings.
Elves, boo.
That still holds up. The CGI looks better than most CGI today. Lord of the Rings, like as the books, straight up were the first like real books I ever read. I went straight from Captain Underpants right into Lord of the Rings and to see that movie. So real hard pick for me. I needed that one. Didn't want to get that one to get sniped. Next, and this is where I'm a little. I don't know which one of these I think y'all pick first. Screw it. I'm going for it. Big Lebowski. I mean,
Okay.
I don't feel like I need to say anything more. Super rewatchable. Coen brothers are amazing. The cast is all time. Jeff Bridges, John Goodman, Steve Buscemi, Philip Seymour Hoffman. John Turturro was Jesus. Sam Elliott is a stranger. Tara Reid offering you blowjobs. Flea is a nihilist. you can't beat it. All in. And then I'll take my picks for the draft. I'm taking Mark Andrews, and I'm taking Mike Evans. Don't really have anything to say on Mark Andrews, but Mike Evans, legit, I think has really high 1-1 ceiling this year. I'm not worried at all about the Julio signing.
I was about to ask. Yeah. Okay.
No fear about the Julio signing. I think Mike Evans is going to get the Gronk red zone targets, and I think he's got super high upside. So that's my pick.
Nobody's scared of Julio anymore.
I was gonna say I don't think the rest of the teams in the league are worried about the Julio signing either.
Outstanding Mike Evans value. King Hoot.
All right, Neil. What's that movie pick to go along with Kyle Pitts?
We're gonna go with Boondock Saints.
All right.
Ooh.
Throwback, great throwback.
All right, Timo. That brings it to you.
All right. So I guess I'll get the movie pick beforehand. I think I'm gonna go with The Godfather. That's the hard part, isn't it? Probably Godfather Part 2.
Okay.
And then, oh god, arguably the harder pick here. Fuck it, I have faith.
Okay. Word. Early Herbert pick.
Wow.
I mean, I don't even know if
I
it's
think
that
that'll
early.
return
I don't even
value.
know if it's that early. I feel like that's pretty close to where he'll go ADP wise. I don't even think it's early. Well,
I think that's the earliest I've ever taken a QB.
Yeah.
That's a very very punctual Herbert. Very, very early. Very. right before the party starts.
He's not late. Liffy, it goes
Yeah,
to
you're
you.
still putting the fucking tablecloth on the table, A&F, and like the food's not out the oven yet. You're just like chilling by the door, ripping cigs, just like awkward.
I feel like that's probably where he'll go. I don't think it's that much of a reach. Lippy, what have you got for us?
I was going to go with a different movie, but then I heard the word one of the best Coen Brother movies. So I have to go with Oh Brother Where Art Thou, where I think it's a better Coen Brother movie. And then pick-wise, honestly, I just hate Zeke.
You are a Zeke hater.
Yeah.
Aren't you a pocket?
Wow.
Oh, Brees Hall, let's go.
Oh,
No rookie running back has not been a top 15 running back in like 8 years or something stupid. So one of the running backs has to be a top 15 running back. And we're already at running back 2, 4, 6,
What?
8, 10, 12.
no. That logic checks out.
Wait. Okay.
No, there's been a rookie running back in the top 15 running backs at the end of the season for the last 8 years or something, A&F.
Okay.
So this is RB14. So a running back is going to probably be top 15 at the end of the season.
All right.
And I'll put my money on it being Brees.
Okay.
A&F loves it.
Yeah, I do. Sure. All right. Boy, I'm discombobulated. All right. What I'm gonna do is I already know who I'm gonna pick for my player. The movie is difficult because y'all took some pot shots at some of my top tens along the way back to my pick here. So what I'm gonna do? Okay, I'm gonna take Ocean's 11. Is what I'm gonna do.
Damn it.
Great pick.
Yeah.
Great pick.
So and then this one's very easy for me. I'm gonna pick Keenan Allen as my WR2.
Oh, that's going to be my pick.
And now we go to Curran.
Keenan Allen's 30. Wow.
Dirty 30.
Yeah.
Can you hear me, A&F?
Oh, I can, Curran.
Okay, why the fuck is this app not updating? It says
Real-
it's still ticking.
Real life Keenan Allen story. I don't know if I'm breaking any news here, but used to buy weed from the same guys I did out in California. Great dude. Really good FIFA player.
Oh, shut up.
So that just boosted my pick confidence like 10%. Curran, is it working now?
Yes, it's working. All right.
That just got us like a good 15 views on YouTube tonight. That's good stuff.
Yeah. We just got some serious SEO value with King Pizza.
If we ever break 7 views, that will be true. All right, Curran.
All right, I'll keep moving. All right, so right now I'm looking at real happy I went with the wide receiver heavy because I'm loving this conglomerate of shitty like C-tier running backs I'm looking at. Honestly, I would lean Fournette, but I think he's kind of thick, and I really don't.
They said today he dropped the pounds.
Nah, I don't know. Fuck it. I think Aaron Jones is a good value here in the third round. You're never going to get him in the third round.
Why won't you people pick Zeke?
Fuck Zeke. And for my pick, I think tough. I've got a lot of good things on my list, but I think I want to go to the first horror movie that really fucked with me as a kid, and I'm going to pick The Shining.
Okay. Word.
Quality pick right there.
Oh yeah.
All right, Jonah. That brings us up to Cornman Alley.
All right. I can't really decide which one to go with, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and pull the trigger and call it Scarface.
Okay. Word.
Oh, nice.
Is that or Goodfellas? And then I think I'm going to go ahead and be the guy that hoots this pick.
There you go. All right. I like Jonah's team a lot more than Kern's. Spoiler.
Oh, fuck Zeke.
All right. Well, that brings us to the turn, Mr. Tate. It's all up to you.
Yeah, I'm not sure where I want to go on the player side of things, so I'll go movie. I am going to do The Usual Suspects.
Okay. Awesome movie.
Big fan of that movie.
Yeah.
And then coming back around, Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Wow. Good picks. Good turn.
And then for my players, I'll go AJ in Philly.
Okay.
And then for my pick, I'll go AJ in Philly.
Word.
And then for my players, I'll go AJ in Philly. And then for my players, I'll go AJ in Philly. And then for my players, I'll go AJ in Philly. And then for my players, I'll go AJ in Philly. And then for my players, I'll go AJ in Philly. And then for my players, I'll go AJ in Philly. And then for my players, I'll go AJ in Philly. And then for my players, I'll go AJ in Philly. And then for my players, I'll go AJ in Philly. And then for my players, I'll go AJ in Philly. And then for my players, I'll go AJ in Philly. And then for my players, I'll go AJ in Philly. And then for my players, I'll go AJ in Philly. And then for my players, I'll go AJ in Philly. And then for my players, I'll go AJ in Philly. And then for my players, I'll go AJ in Philly. And then for my players, I'll
I love that you're the only one that has to kind of wait on bated breath to see if you actually get to pick.
Yeah,
this
really,
player.
it's messing with my head because I'm like, oh, well, I can get any of these other
Yeah.
guys who were here, and then
Yeah.
they're just all gone.
Yeah.
I want to ask a question real quick to the group because a player just went at the top of the 4th round that I think is a really divisive fantasy player right now, and I'd love to hear the thoughts. One of my favorite things about y'all's podcast is listening to y'all's S9 takes on stuff.
Gibson?
So let me hear some Antonio Gibson takes. I want to hear. Do we have any believers? Do we have any out? Like where we fall, team? I want to hear about this.
Let's see here. I mean, I'll start us off. I'm a big Gibson hater. I think it's gone. Whatever.
How do you hate on getting a running back at RB20? That's probably that. I mean, he's RB20.
I think you just meant in general, right?
Oh yeah.
Or did you mean
no? I
where
mean,
the pick's at?
I mean, first of all, there's a lot of running backs left that I would take ahead of him. Second of all, that take was strictly NFL based, and I definitely I'm just a Gibson hater in the NFL. Like, I mean, how many years does he have left on his deal? Does he have? Is this it? Is this his
He's
last
a 3rd
year?
round running back, so he's got a 4-year contract, right? So he's been in the league.
He's got 2 more.
He's got this year and another year.
Yeah, and they just brought in some guy in the 3rd round as well. They have a pass.
But Brian Robinson
back.
is scary.
Exactly. I mean, he'll be a discount. I don't even.
If he doesn't get injured.
I was all about him his rookie year because he was like a very fun upside pick that everyone took shots on, and he kind of hit to some degree in some of my leagues. But I mean, he hasn't. I mean, everything the coaching staff is doing is saying that he's not going to be what we want him to be, and the team's just not good enough to keep him sustained with touchdowns. So I'd rather take Josh Jacobs over him, honestly.
So this is my fantasy. I agree with all y'all's takes, but again, I just want to think has there been a time where a rookie running back has come into the league, performed as RB 13 and 12 in PPR, back-to-back seasons, and we are all out on him?
Jordan Howard, yes.
But that's touchdown. That was all touchdown dependent.
Yeah, but I mean, he's still
I mean, James
Gibson.
He just needs a change of scenery, man. He just needs to get out of Washington, which I know isn't going to happen, but that would be the only way I could see it happening again. I think he's got RB1 potential, but I think he's just going to be a solid, middling RB2. I don't see it happening unless Brian Robinson just shits the bed, And even then, you got to worry about McKissick coming back. So I just don't see it.
My thought isn't even about Brian Robinson exactly. They could get one of us out there, and if we're on the bench, they're going to put us in instead of him. They just don't. They don't want to play him. They just don't.
Well, I mean, the fumbles was the issue last year, right?
Yep.
That was the big issue. So if he were to get the fumbles under control, he'd have more of a rotation. I just don't see that's 3 people in the backfield, each with their own respective time and place to be used.
I mean, Ron Rivera. I think if he got just really pissed off at Gibson one day, I mean, he'd get the goddamn cold beer guy out of the stands and have him running up the middle. I mean, there's no commitment.
Anyway,
we only got 2 minutes left on the board for the next guy, so I don't want to derail any longer. But thank y'all for jumping in on that analysis. That's what this podcast does better than any out there.
When you're a Damien Harris fan.
I mean, that's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. I would easily take Damien Harris ahead of Gibson. Easily.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
No way.
I don't know about that. That's pretty
Easily.
cool.
No
That
No
dude's
shot.
not going to be playing for the Pats next year.
I'm just talking about this year. I would easily take the Patriots are going to be an elite offense this year. Jonah, let's get your movie pick and player pick locked in.
Oh, we skipped Tate. We skipped Tate.
No. We got the movies back to back. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Tate took Pittman just for the podcast people.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I guess I didn't announce that. I'm not super proud of it, but yeah.
I'm getting towards the end of it, but I don't like the look of the rest of the running backs, so I'm just going to go ahead and take a risk on Etienne. I think getting rid of Urban Meyer is probably the best thing that the Jaguars have ever done.
It'll only help things.
Yeah, it couldn't hurt.
Right.
And so I'm going to go ahead and try, and I know James Robinson's there, but he was a nobody, so hopefully their first-round pick last year will pay off after Lawrence. And then movie pick, I'm probably going to have to go with Al Pacino's Oscar-winning A Sensible Woman.
That's a great movie, Jonah. That's such a good film. Wow, I really like that movie.
Top 10 monologues all time.
Oh, absolutely, great pick. Karen, who are you picking here?
Okay, we'll keep it quick. I love the wide receivers in this range. Everywhere from Waddle, Moore, Judy. Those are the three I'm looking at specifically. Or Jacobs. I kind of went heavy on the wide receiver, so I think I'm going to keep fading running back and take Jalen Waddle, block that up. And as for my pick, Jonah mentioned he was going to take Goodfellas, and that kind of got me a little squirrely, so because that was on my list next, so I'm going to lock in Goodfellas and get some Robert De Niro action on the board.
Okay, word. I like Goodfellas. I'm really glad you didn't take Jacobs, because that's another play I would take along before Gibson, and I'm big on the Raiders this year. They're my Super Bowl pick.
I like Jacobs a lot.
I'm going to take an A&F / Buttermaker pick here, and I will take the original Bad News Bears. I fucking love that movie. And I'll take Josh Jacobs, and that takes us to Lippy. Lippy, are you also going to pick a running back?
Both of those are very much you picks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Are you going to take another running back that I would take before Gibson? Is Gurley still on the board?
We're going to go with the wide receiver that's probably, honestly, a lock to be a wide receiver 1 this year. We're going to go with DJ Moore. Yeah.
Ooh.
Movie-wise, has Shawshank been taken yet?
It has not.
No.
I'll take Shawshank then.
Wow.
Most people's, that's a great movie. Nothing really you can say bad about it.
Well, all right, locked it in.
Yeah.
So DJ Moore.
I'll go ahead with I'll go ahead and make the player pick. Again, there's a lot of uncertainty on top of the uncertainty I have at running back, so we're gonna dodge that for a minute. And Terry McLaurin, he is what he is. I'm going to take the guy that's going to be the number 1 in Denver. So I'm going to take Cortland.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Yes.
I really don't understand. I really don't understand how McLaurin, Metcalf, and even Judy are ahead of him in ADP currently.
I completely agree.
Who are on shit offense, and one has not done anything in the NFL.
Yep. Facts.
As far as a movie pick, this is a deep cut. I'm going to go with Hear No Evil, See No Evil with Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder.
All right. Wow.
And if you haven't seen it...
That is a throwback movie.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, it is hilarious. Richard Pryor is a blind man, Gene Wilder's a deaf man, and they just get into all kinds of crazy hijinks throughout the movie. It is a must-watch. They have incredible chemistry together.
Those are funny guys. It is a good movie. Neil, it is up to you, sir.
I'm gonna go. Scary Terry. Why not? And shit, this is tough. So a lot of the good ones have been selected. I'll go. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is a real curveball. I'm gonna go Spirited Away.
Wow.
Oh, great.
Good movie.
Great fucking.
Fantastic pick, Neil.
That might be the
Not
draft.
Terry, but the other one.
Yeah, Spirited Away, great movie.
Yeah, Terry's more of a
If you haven't seen Spirited Away, you should definitely see that too. Ashley and I watched a Ghibli movie this weekend, actually. All right, Hoot, that's up to you, sir.
All right, I'm gonna go movies first again. Staying as I said in the last round, I'm moving around my list a little bit, but I just want to make sure I don't get sniped. I got a lot on here that I don't think I'll get sniped on, but knock out a couple more. So I'm gonna go with Old School. That's the funniest movie I'd seen as a kid. I think it's the GOAT comedy. Yeah. You're my boy Blue, Will Ferrell, Vince Vaughn, Luke Wilson, Alicia Cuthbert, all doing all you need in like 3 minutes of screen time. I've rewatched those 3 minutes hundreds of times. So that movie was just, needed to have it if I'm going to be stuck with just 12 movies in my life. I need that. And then this one's a little harder. Which one do I want to pull? All right, I'm gonna do it. I got a whole spiel for this one, so let me do it too. Tropic Thunder.
Wow.
And my question here is: do we think this movie still gets made in 2022?
Oh,
like,
no.
can I go to
No.
Can I go to Warner Bros. And say I'm putting Robert Downey Jr. in blackface for 2 hours?
No.
Yeah, no. But the reason it works is because it's not being offensive or aimed at anything about a caricature or even like black culture, anything like that. It's making fun of like the ego and fragility of Hollywood, and that's why it works.
Yeah.
But that film was hilarious. I think the fake ads are one of the most genius ideas.
I thought they were real ads at first when I first watched it as a kid.
Oh yeah, opening of Al Pacino, "I Love the Pussy," hell yeah, that call and refrain. You're already dying laughing.
Drinking booty sweat and I'm busting a nut.
And
I say
and again, oh, sorry. And then just to circle back around again, like that's what makes that movie so great is the heart and the emotions. Because again, going back to that, "I Love the Pussy," that's coming from a homosexual character who's like fighting with that homosexuality in an industry that requires hypermasculinity, rap.
Yeah,
it's just. That movie is both hilarious and really does touch on real things. So wanted to grab that one. Absolutely love it. I don't know if it gets made today, but I'm glad it did get made. Yeah. And then look at the draft now. The running backs. I forgot how shit running backs get in non-superflex so quickly. Yeah. So I'm gonna take San Francisco's RB2.
Ooh.
Because Lance is definitely going to be the RB1 and get the goal lines, but I just want somebody who I can rely on, and the rest of these dudes are worthless.
I mean, Damien Harris is still available, so I don't know what you're talking about. But okay.
Tropic Thunder doesn't get made in 2022 because Ben Stiller will not lead a movie in 2022. That's the only reason. I think Robert Downey Jr. could still do blackface and get away with it.
Interesting. I don't think that's true, but
and then for my next pick, God, it does get bad so quick.
It's the pick is Damien Harris. He's the best player on the board.
Yeah, no.
He's not the best running back on the Patriots.
I'm gonna grab Mike Williams.
All right, Neil. We're back to you, good man. I know you will take Damien Harris.
You know, he just looks so beautiful. But you know what? I'll take Lamar Jackson.
Okay, all right.
Go Blazing Saddles, and I'm just not gonna have it.
Damn.
Wow, great pick.
I think it's
when
man, that was a snipe.
Yeah, when Timo said "Hear no evil, see no evil," I'm like, oh well, Blazing Saddles is a great pick to take coming up soon.
Yeah, that was going to be my comeback pick. Yeah. I was going to go back.
That's a nice pick.
Yeah. Oh shit! It's my turn.
It is. Neil really fucked you
up. Let's see. Yeah, that is just looking so rough at the running.
Neil, you just caused the first tilt pick of the draft.
Oh, tilting.
Right. Love it. Oh man.
Timo's gonna tilt and take Horton. Here's the new.
While Timo thinks, Curran, you were audibly distressed about Sutton, and I want to hear your bad reasons as to why he's not the one in Denver.
It's just like it's just bad analysis. I think if you're just gonna say he's a big
bad
receiver.
Analysis.
He's a big receiver, with Russell Wilson. Therefore, he will do well. If you look at the breakdowns when Jerry Judy's on the field, he doesn't get targeted for shit. There are plays and routes run for Jerry Jeudy. It's that man's offense.
All right, Timo. Curran's messing up, and he's saying lots of dumb shit.
I'm not happy with that at all. But I took Amari Cooper. Movie shit.
Timo's got
movie, man. Neil, you really put me in a shit spot.
We can give you a Jack and Jill placeholder if you want, but you will lose.
No. No, but we will go with an Adam Sandler movie. Let's go with Happy Gilmore.
Wow. Fantastic pick. especially to respond from a snipe. That's a great
Yeah.
recovery.
Respond right.
All right, Lippy.
Wow. Okay. We're gonna go with what's some of these rosters look like. What are see, I only can start 3 running backs. I would go Damien Harris here, Alexander, but I don't need him.
But you would, is what you're saying.
I would, yes. We're gonna go with another wide receiver that is probably gonna be a wide receiver 1 this year, Hollywood Brown, and then we're gonna go with Django, which I believe has not been taken yet.
It has not been taken.
Wow. Okay. Fantastic.
Great pick. I think is that the second Tarantino movie or the third?
It is. Inglourious Bastards was taken.
Yeah.
I think that was the only other one so far.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start ripping them off pretty soon, so y'all better get on board because
Christopher Dunst was taken.
Let's see. Well, I just hate just about everything.
Damien
Yeah,
Harris.
Neil took Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, Reservoir Dogs would also. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, shit. I'll do it. I'll pick Damien Harris, and then for my movie, I just watched the most recent one and really did not like it, but I will take the one that one of the 3 that I just thought were excellent, and I will take Skyfall. And now it's up to you, Kern.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, by the way.
Wait,
Yeah.
hey, NF, I want to hear your Damien Harris take here because I don't see it.
Oh, I think to quote another movie that'll probably get drafted here, I think Damien Harris just pisses excellence. I think that for the first time we have a running back that will be reliable in New England. Now, do I think he gets re-signed? Probably not. But
Talk about bad
for this year, I'm so in. I'm so in. I think with what the offense is going to be doing with Mac Jones, it is.
What are they going to be
match made
doing?
in heaven.
Brad.
Hold on, Kev, before you go, I just want to say, so you're not concerned that touchdowns with 15 touchdowns, he still was barely an RB1.
No, he's not concerned. He's not concerned at all.
I'm not
He
concerned in
thinks he's
the
a lot for
slightest.
20 touchdowns.
I'm not concerned in the slightest. But if for instance, people are worried about touchdown regression. To those people, I say we might get touchdown progression. I mean, it really is sky is the limit with Damien Harris, and if you don't to keep going on that movie quote, if you don't like Damien Harris, fuck you.
Yeah, shit. All right. I mean, I don't know. I like the idea of a 20 touchdown RB7. Like that's just
it would be sick.
Something
Right?
happened to Ramondre Stevenson and no one told me. Am I missing something?
Ramondre Stevenson might wash out of the league faster than
Do y'all
Gibson.
know that South Park episode where like Stan starts seeing everyone like talking like and spitting out shit? And, like there's that scene with the duck just like talking and shit's flying out of his mouth. That's like a daily conversation I have with this man about football. It's the most obscure thought process. He finds either like very inefficient players or like really horrible offenses, and he's like, "Oh, it's Kenny Galladay's
in this case, both."
Yeah, I was gonna say, I just passed over the fact that you were like high on the Patriots offense.
I love the Patriots offense this year. I think Mac Jones is going to be a legend. I am very, very high on them this year. So.
Good God, we must move on to better things. I have to pick something else to get just that bad taste in my mouth. All right, so did you pick a movie yet, ANF?
Yeah, I picked Skyfall.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll go movie first. Let's see. A lot of good things have been picked. I'll take Django off my list because that was just sniped. I am going to take. I'm going to take Fight Club because that movie's sick. And
Fight Club?
Yes.
I was distracted by Mr. Waters.
All right. Mr. Waters, where's he at?
He's chilling. I think he's a witness to the chat. He's busy, but he's listening in. Yeah. He was giving me some pointers about my movie picks, and I was thanking him for his feedback. So, Karen, you picked Fight Club.
What's wrong with Fight Club? What's wrong?
No, I'm not laughing at that. I Waters is on my team for the draft, so he was saying all my picks were fucking great.
No, all his picks are trash. All right, so I'm gonna keep. It's so hard not to just keep hammering wide receiver, just because there's so many good ones. So normally I would take Jerry Jeudy here, just with my belief in him, but I've been seeing a lot of reports that Chris Godwin might come back sooner than later, and here in the fucking 5th round, it just seems too much like a slam just not to lock that up. So I'm gonna take that.
Okay, well, I think that pick's pretty horrible. Jonah,
I know we say this often, but your team is actually the worst out of this draft right now.
Flippy.
Wow.
Flippy, please. You have multiple running backs in committees and Najee Harris, and DJ Moore is dope, but get out of here.
God. Okay, Jonah, let's do a good pick. We can sandwich the Chris Godwin with good, bad Chris Godwin center, and then good.
Just looking at what's about to get picked, it looks like real quick. So we'll go ahead and take Darren Waller.
Darren Waller, okay.
And then for movie, I kind of didn't really know what to do on. Kind of didn't know what to do with this one. I'd already done Saving Brad Pitt's table a lot, so I think I'm missing out. So I think we're going to go with Troy.
Troy, okay.
Oh,
all right.
Yeah.
Great movie. The fool who thought he could kill Achilles. Great scene there. All right. Well, we're at the semi quote unquote other tail of this draft. We're back to you, Mr. Tate.
I'm not sure what I want to do here at either movie or player. But I'm going to go with best player available on both. I'm going to go Forrest Gump for my movie.
Okay. Great movie.
And from the first player, I will go Judy. Don't even know who's coming back to me, but that's fine.
We don't have Jack House here, so does anyone actually think the Drew Lock should be starting in the NFL right now?
No. The fact that
no one from Missouri should play in the NFL.
the fact that the Seahawks did not trade for Baker at the price he went for is embarrassing for that franchise, and just a sign that they're going to be tanking. Like
they are tanking.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
When Geno Smith wins that starting role, that's all we need to know. But they're tanking.
Yeah. What was that second movie, Tate? I guess I missed that.
I didn't pick it yet. So you missed nothing.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Parasite.
Oh wow!
I really
Yeah.
liked that movie when I watched it.
Cool.
Great.
It's a good movie.
Yeah. Well, that brings us back to you, Mr. Jonah. Also, I don't like Jalen Hurts, but I like him at 6'5". That's a nice pick. Anyway, Jonah, you're up.
I mean, it's too soon. I'll start off with the movie just because I thought it was a shame that Godfather Part 2 went before Godfather Part 1.
Okay.
So we'll go with Godfather. That's truly the only movie worth watching in the entire franchise.
Wow.
So
Wow.
Godfather Part 1.
Let's all forget about my Damien Harris hot takes and think about that.
I can do both.
I think this is a bit of a reach in my opinion, but I think he's going to do really well. And Atlanta only has Kyle Pitts, but USC's Drake London played with. He played with St. Brown. And I think what was it? It wasn't Bateman. It was Pittman. Yeah. So they're all on the same team. I feel like it's very similar to the LSU situation where Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase went together.
Interesting.
So
Well, we'll see what happens.
So he's the best rookie wide receiver.
Huh.
Let's see.
I just had to moisturize the forehead for a second.
Curran.
Yep, you got it. You heard
Who's
it.
moisturizing?
You're up, Curran.
All right, I'm about to moisturize these nuts all over A&F's face when I fucking snipe. When I snipe fucking an elite quarterback who just got paid billions of dollars. I honestly don't like this guy, but it's way too far to have. Like, we can't be taking Drake London and Brandon Cooks and these guys over fucking Kyler Murray. It's just too long. And for my movie pick,
It's the most athletic toddler in the world.
What's his contract say about incentives for moisturizing? So
Yeah,
1 hour a week, 2 hours a week. What does he need to do?
But the new cod's going to drop, and Kyler Murray's going to.
Yeah, I'm not like super high on Kyler Murray to be honest. Without like Hopkins for half the year, and I don't know. I mean, he's kind of like a little sneaky, little pitter patter, sneaky devil. But for my movie pick, I was thinking. So what King Hit was saying, kind of diversifying. You know, I've been picking a lot of like solid like bro films and just good movies that I personally like. But I need some like flex appeal at the other positions with the other niches. So I'm gonna pick a movie that is basically like taking pre-workout without taking pre-workout. You could watch this whole movie and then go to the gym and max out on bench and squat back to back. So I'm gonna take Mad Max Fury Road.
Wow. Okay.
Very prime.
Flaming guitars on monster trucks, just fucking all day. Let's go.
So we have some folks in the chat keeping us company here. So what I'll I will I mean, I already know my player pick here, but I'm a little bit
This
lost.
pick is a slam dunk.
I'm gonna take the first Beverly Hills Cop movie, because it's one of my all-time favorites, and I'm going to pick Dak because I think it's just a better pick than Kyler. So, Lippy, you're up.
So I'm. Let's talk this mock for a second. How is Hawk going after Dalton Schultz? And
That's a good question. Team 11 really fucked up there. I don't
just
know.
wild.
Yeah.
Schultz was hot last year.
Yeah, Hawk's a slam dunk. I mean, that dude's like a transcendent tight end athlete. Schultz is just a product of the system at the end of the day.
Yeah, but he's still in that system.
Yeah, he still is.
Yeah, like Jared Goff sucks and Dak Prescott's good.
My pick was.
Give me Hawk being a top 3 tight end though.
If
movie pick,
he could throw the ball to himself.
Movie pick. We'll go with The Green Mile here. Keep with the classics.
Oh, great pick, Lippy. Great pick.
Great. R.I.P.
Yeah. Well, that is a great movie. Timo, that brings it to you.
Yeah. Movie pick will go first here. If it hadn't been called, I feel like it's great value at this point. Pulp Fiction.
Okay. Word. Good
Yeah,
movie.
I gotta say that's such a great value on the Tarantino films to get Pulp Fiction as like the 5th Tarantino film.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's a veteran draft move.
As far as teams concerned,
While Timo thinks, is Michael Gallup a WR2 this year? Anybody other than me? Anybody taking
Who?
that?
I think he's got the potential. It depends on when he comes back. Like, I think he's got that potential for sure. I just got him super late in a dynasty startup that's happening because I feel like people are scared off by it. But they just signed him to a new contract. Now that he's got the target share, and I don't know, I'm in on it.
I love him.
Whoa. Where's the dynasty startup happening?
That's what I'm thinking. Like, you do that without us? What the fuck?
Hold the fucking phone.
I'm sorry. I had to cheat. I had to cheat on y'all and run off of a side piece on another dynasty startup. I got too tired of waiting for the dynasty startups we've got sitting there to get going. I tried to get Randy, who's too busy to do this draft, but busy enough to sit in the chat and shit talk our picks to get his auction draft going. So,
Hey,
in the absence, hop in.
Mr. Hoot, sorry, first time caller, long time listener. Just wanted to ask of your Michael Gallup expertise, if maybe it's a little too late to acquire his contract for just Christian McCaffrey, and if so, how many firsts would you have to tack onto that contract to acquire Michael Gallup?
For what? For this draft or for a dynasty?
For Dynasty startup. Yeah.
Dynasty startup. I'd take
Or just Dynasty in general.
I'd take 3. This is Lippy speaking, right?
No, this is Mr. Waters.
Mr. Waters.
Oh, he slid in. Hey,
I'm here, baby.
there we go. Nah, I mean, again, going back to being, I'll take 2 of your first because they're always the last pick, so they don't matter. But I will say that again, I'm not super high on him, but I do think he has wide receiver 2 upside, and he's going way too late in dynasty drafts.
It's just a smart series of words you put together there. Neil, let's get your movie pick and your pick if you don't mind.
Neil?
He's not in the draft.
I think we lost Neil. Give him Horton Here's a Who and give him Kenneth Walker.
Okay.
Do not snipe Horton Here's a Who for me.
So we will.
Give him the Johnny Depp show in the Chocolate Factory.
Neil gets Bad Charlie Chocolate Factory.
Bad chocolate.
And for his pick, he gets
Get him
Give
the
him
ghost
first.
of Michael
He's a Tennessee
Thomas.
fan.
he gets Todd Gurley.
Boom. Egg on toast.
Oh, it is. Well, yeah. Sorry, Neil. You have a tough pick.
Seal of the draft.
I mean, have you seen? Isn't he still the rushing touchdown leader since 2017? I mean, look at that.
He's so close to a comeback, too.
So,
Spot just
Only
opened up in
27.
One more
Seattle.
month, they'll be there.
yeah.
Modern medicine.
We're almost halfway through.
We are, and if obviously if people have to go early, please do not feel like you're a prisoner here. Take off as you need to.
No, I feel like I'm locked up here.
Hoot, it's on you, good sir. Let's get your movie picks and your players.
All right, cool. So again, to go back through what I was saying with trying to have a diversity, I locked up a couple of comedies. Those are my wide receivers. Feel good about those. So I want to get my first flex spot in here. So I'm going to do a double dip, which is an action film and a foreign film. So I'm going to Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Wow, super
Stunt
cool.
pieces stand up today. Basically made Ang Lee's career. I'm going to butcher her name, but Zhang Zi was one in my heart for a long time. That girl is something special. She's Memoirs in a Geisha. If you've never seen this film, Michelle Yeoh kills it. Great film. Love it. And then, am I worried any of y'all gonna snipe any of these other ones? Yeah, all right. And then for this one, I'm also gonna knock out my tight end, which is gonna be my animated film. And I'm going with Fantastic Mr. Fox. Probably my favorite Wes Anderson film. Hilarious, heartwarming, true passion project.
Clooney,
claymation
right?
film.
I think
Yeah.
Christopherson.
Yeah, Christopherson.
There's a
dude.
ton of people in that movie. There's
Yeah.
so many people in that movie.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic film. If you haven't seen it, strongly recommend. So yeah, knock those 2 out. Really filling out my roster. As for the draft here, Jesus Christ, I haven't done a.
Sanders.
I'm not. There's 0% chance. All right, I'm gonna take Chicago's wide receiver 1 because while I don't really believe in Justin Fields, part of me does. So let's see.
I mean, that's an amazing.
That's
pick.
not Byron Pringle.
Whoa!
It's the one pick A&F's been right on.
Yeah. Hold on.
What are you talking
Darnell Mooney, let's go.
I mean, hold on.
And shout out another Tulane grad, Darnell Mooney. Love having it. And then
we'll do a trade after the draft, but keep going.
then I'm gonna take a quarterback here, and I am oscillating. You know what? Fuck it. Give me the last unretired revenge tour of Tom Brady. I think the only person who had the only fantasy impact of the Julio Jones signing is for Tom Brady,
yeah.
which now means that like you can legit hurt two receivers on that team and they still have two receivers.
And you've got the stack, which is nice. That's a solid pick.
Well, I mean, unless you meant hurt in the literal sense, because we both know that. I mean, everybody on this thread knows that Julio's going to play 2 games. And hamstrings are going to implode.
Roasted.
Neil picked BC
Oh.
Johnson and he is locking in Ants, the movie that everyone forgot about because of Bug's Life. Timo,
Hey,
that's
the
you.
The great Woody Allen and Sylvester Stallone led Ants.
Yep. Okay, so I'm going to take a value here with A.J. Dillon, who's going to end up being the running back 1 in Green Bay before too long. And then movies, I'm going to go back to a few minutes ago with Moisturizer and pick Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, wow. Wait a what a tie-in there. All right. Lippy, it's up to you now.
So these picks are pretty easy at the end of the day. Only comment on the draft so far is if A&F were to put as much effort into actually fantasy football as he does into picking for Neil and Kern last time, you'd be a damn good player, sir. For our movie pick, we're going to go with a movie that came out this year, the new Top Gun. Wow, great time in the theaters.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Quality film.
Yeah, it was really good.
And then we're going to go with the wide receiver 1 for Patrick Mahomes. Juju.
I mean, I agree that's who that is. I agree.
I should have taken dances alone.
Okay, so the player pick is very, very easy. The movie pick is a little bit harder. Oh, goodness gracious me, oh my. I don't know how much love this movie is going to get, but it's in my top 10 list and it's still available. It's Costner and Harrelson. I don't know if anyone saw this. It's The Highwayman. I fucking love that movie. And I will take Kareem Hunt. And now it's up to Kern.
All right. So I'm going to take kind of what like King Hoot was saying. I'm gonna diversify and take another pick outside my realm. But if I'm gonna take a Disney movie, I'm gonna take the best Disney movie, which is The Lion King. So lock that up. Just to take an all-time
I'm gonna
classic.
lock in Toy Story because it's
Get Toy Story out of here. Fuck that. Fuck Toy Story out of here. It's The Lion King, hands down. Just no ifs, ands, or buts.
Toy Story's Pixar, not Disney.
Right.
Then we're going to
Lion King's
take
just worse. What was that, Kern?
Lion King. Lock it in.
Yeah.
All right. And I am pretty agnostic here at this point in the draft. There's a lot of just piss and ass all over the place. Glad I soaked up the wide receiver value. I'm just going to soak up some mediocre RB value here and just take Miles Sanders and build my RB core from the ground up.
I'm mediocre.
That is a New Orleans ground level right there. That is
Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're well below sea level there, my friend. Jonah, your pick.
Alright. For my movie, I wanted to do a sports movie, and I'm surprised there's not that many taken off the board right now between any given Sunday.
Draft day.
Draft day. So
But it's on the board.
But I think I'm going to go with a 2-for-1 and go with the GOAT Michael Jordan's Space Jam.
Wow.
Amazing pick.
Value Town, end of the 7th.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I'm buying into it. I'm buying into all the hype in Denver.
I mean, hey man, 7th round.
Nice.
That's a great. You can't be mad at that. All right. Well, Tate, we're here at the Simi tail, and you've got 2.
Yeah. All right. I think what I'm gonna do here. I went comedy with Monty Python. I haven't circled back around. I don't want to miss out on this. I'm taking Anchorman here.
Okay.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a good one.
And then we're coming back around. Give me A Few Good Men.
Oh, great movie. Great movie. And, just iconic.
And for players, I will go
All right.
Bateman.
Damn, I completely forgot that we had 6 other teams or 5 other teams in there.
The bots.
It's a brutal reminder every
Yeah. Yeah, just keep thinking about who I'm going to take next, and then they're
And
just
I'll
gone.
take Goddard.
Okay. Word.
Background to me, I still really high on him. I liked him a lot when he was in college, and for some reason I still have faith in Jalen Hurts. I'm going to go with Devontae Smith. And then my movie, I'm going to snag the last good Tarantino opinions to hate the Kill Bill volume with the Hateful Eight.
So, wait,
Wait,
we
what?
kind of cut out there. You taking Hateful Eight or you taking Kill Bill?
Hateful Eight.
Okay, word.
Oh, okay.
I really liked that. Yeah.
Shot all in one.
All right. I am going to take the motherfucker who whooped my ass in the championship last year and lock up some Buffalo stock with Dawson Knox.
I was going to say that's a lot of players that beat your ass last week. Man.
Yep. It's
the same team.
So it certainly left an impression. For those who don't know, I played Lippy in our home league championship, and he had the Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, and Dawson Knox stack, and beat me by like 60 points. So he likes to remind me in the championship. So I'm gonna take that just to kind of ease my wounds.
You had Rex Burkhead off waivers that scored 30. I mean, you had a chance.
I mean, my whole team was hurt. We're not going to go into it. I had a lot of injuries. I faced a lot of adversity, and I pulled in strong. But you had the better team that matchup, Lippy. So we'll tip our hats and move along. And in so moving along, I'm going to pick. I'm going to go. I'm typically a horror movie fan by nature, so I'm going to take the most fucked up horror movie I've seen in recent memory and lock in Hereditary.
Okay.
Ooh. It's good. Good value pick.
All right. So
ANF has never.
No.
ANF hates horror movies.
That's true.
ANF was watching.
Oh, it's such a good film.
ANF was watching the Grudge at my house and hid under his hands and whimpered.
I mean, that's historically accurate. Okay. So for player, again, very very easy pick. For movie, I really liked Neil's Spirited Away, and I'm gonna take the second Ghibli movie I ever saw. I'm gonna take Howl's Moving Castle.
Ooh.
Quality.
And for the pick, I mean, I don't just know about this situation, but he was pretty dope at the end of last year, and at 8.8, I'm taking Devin Singletary.
Okay.
And now, Lippy, I send it to you, good sir.
This pick feels very obvious, and I thought ANF was talking about this person at 8.8 because he is the 88th person in ADP. It made a lot of sense. Elijah Moore feels like a slam.
Yeah.
Up and coming offense, if it actually hits, I mean, he's going to be awesome. As for movies, we're going to go with a movie that, honestly, I don't know if everyone's seen, but it's a comedy that we love. Dax Shepard, I can't remember the other people in it, but Let's Go to Prison. Great movie.
Amazing. Will Arnett.
Yes.
Great film.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great film.
Absolutely great film. Always a good time to watch. Timo, down to you.
Yeah. So
I thought you were going to say Without a Paddle for a second there.
You did snipe me with Elijah Moore. That one hurt. Man, am I the only one that gets tilted on this? Apparently.
Well, Neil did just.
It's a good thing I
ants,
pivoted.
So,
Right. So it's a good thing I pivoted. I'll go ahead and pick the player. We'll take, again, the soon-to-be RB1 in Dallas, Tony Pollard. And as far as a movie, oh man, I'd have to go with my favorite Disney movie, Fox and the Hound.
Wow.
So, yeah,
I know.
yeah, we'll take that.
I know Hunter will be smashing the comment section supporting you on that one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
So Neil and Jack are in a little chat with me, and Jack has actually supplied me some movies for Neil. Neil is selecting the first Pokemon movie.
That's actually a good film.
Yeah,
That is
Heartbreaking.
actually a
It's
good
a
movie.
heartbreaking movie.
yeah. No, I mean it is. I thought Pikachu was toast there. But you know, like that movie and like this pick, it's going to pull through. Neil's selecting Ray Ray McLeod.
Ooh.
Good
And
value.
we go to Hoot to turn it here. Move us into the ninth.
Yeah, before I get into my movies, I've noticed a couple of picks here, and I wanted to, again, chop with the group. This is a season long, a redraft league, right?
Correct.
Yep.
Yes.
I hear a lot of people taking like soon to be starters, but dudes who like again.
Oh,
AJ,
I mean,
Tony
in
Pollard,
season.
they've got some
Season.
value this year, but I'm surprised to see people taking.
Look,
Are we still in?
let me let you into a little secret. This league that I'm in out of basically charity. They are they are Zeke haters. They read those reports about Zeke's dogs biting the pool cleaning guy, and they took it real personally, and they hate Zeke, and they think that he's terrible at football. And this is not a new thing. The fact of the matter is, Pollard at 8'10" isn't even that bad. But like, where did Zeke fall to? Like the 6th round or something? Like, I mean, it was just disgraceful.
37.
Basically, the 6th round.
Yeah.
In the third round.
It's just ridiculous. The fact of the
Look,
matter
man.
is that,
I mean, during the season,
no, I mean,
in the
I
middle
know.
of the season, by mid-season, they are taking.
He's got a lot
AJ
of
Dillon's getting all
tread
goal
on his
line.
tires.
It's happening.
I mean, and I've heard Curran just go on for hours and hours, and luckily I was smart enough to mute him. But I mean, he just kept going about how bad Zeke was. And,
I
mean,
think Zeke's fine. Zeke's fine.
like
Nothing wrong with
here
Zeke.
we go. He's about to start.
I
We're gonna
mean,
be here for another 4 hours. So I mean, it's just
like
ridiculous.
I think Tony Pollard's going to be a star on the Sean Payton coached Dallas Cowboys, but
I think he'll be a
I
star
don't know
this
what he's
year.
going to do in this last season.
I don't
here.
see
Like,
Zeke. Zeke
they're
was already on a downhill turn last year. What makes you think he's going to do anything this
Where
year?
did he finish? Wasn't Zeke the RB
He's
6?
like wide receiver 7 or something.
He
last
barely
year.
hit 1,000
He was
yards.
RB 7. Tony Pollard
It
is.
took him
They have him lining up in the slot in practices and OTAs. Like, I don't know.
You hate to see it.
That's receptions.
Pollard
That's
had
half point.
every opportunity last year, and
Anyway.
he did nothing with it. So,
Anyway,
I'm
when
here
was
for
the last
anti-Zeke
time a
slander.
Packers wide receiver went outside the top 40 wide receivers? Like the wide receiver 1 for Aaron Rodgers.
This
I mean,
year.
someone already drafted. Someone already drafted Aaron Jones.
No,
Y'all talking shit?
But he said AJ could also. We saw AJ can also catch passes though.
I love AJ Dillon.
Like they both do it.
I like AJ Dillon
AJ's
too.
also
This is
like
more of
245.
a
Have you
Tony
seen them
Pollard.
quads?
Yeah.
Things are huge.
Dillon's he's a beast of a man.
Yeah. All right. Let me take my movies real quick, and then I'll take my picks. So for movies, I'm gonna take Lost in Translation. This might be one of my personal faves.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Bill Murray's amazing. Scarlett Jo is 1-1 in my heart. Beautifully shot. Love it. And then I'll take my pick here now because I want to go into that again. Somebody who I think has legitimately one season left in them, but in a redraft league, I'm going to take the last starting running back, Todd Penny. And then for my next movie, that's where it gets it. Oh, I'm just going to take 2001: Space Odyssey. Visual masterpiece, great sound, great score, elite stoner movie. And my next pick, this is where it gets interesting because we really are in the land of shit at this point. It's so bad.
mean, Olave is going to be a star.
Eventually, I don't.
If I didn't,
Yeah, I guess I'll do it. I'm gonna go with the wide receiver 1 in New York. Take Wilson.
Let's see here.
And I don't love it though, but that's what I'm gonna go with.
So Jack and Neil sent me another movie. They're taking Agent Cody Banks.
It's a great movie.
Okay.
Why are we giving him good movies now?
I was gonna say Hillary Duff was phenomenal in that. What are we even doing here?
Yeah, he's got Agent Cody Banks. Like, what are we doing?
Let's see here. And for his player, yes, I just got it from him. He's picking Robert Griffin. Definitely gonna be a high upside play this year. Really like that for your team, Neil. All right, Timo, we're back to you.
Yeah. We'll see. Movie? I'll go with a foreign film and the original Old Boy.
Great fucking movie.
Yeah, the original Old Boy is just top to bottom great.
The hallways fight scene might be the best choreographed film in all of it. Yeah, the best choreographed fight scene in all of film. That's just spectacular.
Yeah. I can't think of a better foreign film off the top of my head at the moment. Anyways, and for the running back that I'm going to pick, it's going to be Chase Edmonds, the RB1 in Miami.
Great pick. 9-3 is excellent there. Lippy, to you, sir. After this, you'll have 3 picks left.
Honestly, I feel like these movies we could draft for hours. Because I mean, we had 8 people in this draft, and there's tons of movies left.
Yeah.
We're going to go with probably one of the best sports movies ever. We're going to go with Miracle. If Jack was here, would have got drafted in the 3rd round.
Easily.
Great movie. Pick-wise here? Wait, where is he? Oh, there he is. Good old Trey Lance.
Yeah, have him in Dynasty. It's going to be a good time, I feel like.
Yeah, he's going to rush. He's going to get points.
Okay.
So I think that's one of the best dynasty picks you can have. My thing for this season is how long do we think it takes him to learn how to throw the football?
Longer
than this
season. Longer than this season.
Because again, this is
that's what I was thinking.
Never even contemplated NFL passing concept. So I believe in Shanahan. I love the offense. Again, dynasty. Absolutely love this pick. But in a redraft scenario, you've basically just, again, not trying to shit, but it's essentially the running back 1 in SF.
See, but the thing is, in redraft in the 9th round, if you go quarterback and it doesn't hit, you cut bait and you get another quarterback real easy.
Yeah,
that's true.
You have everyone else who took a quarterback in the first 6 rounds. They're not going to be digging the wire for a quarterback. You can always play the wire. But if Lance hits, he's 23 points a week. I mean, look at Hurts. Hurts can't pass. And he was still a top 10 quarterback.
Wait a second.
Andy's got something to say here.
Andy logged in just because he heard the Hurts slander.
That's not
Andy put down the brief, put down the gavel, and jumped in here because he heard someone talking about Hurts.
I am literally in the middle of inputting a billing entry right now, and I switched over to my favorite broadcast to weigh in. I've heard a lot of Jalen Hurts slander on the audio timeline tonight. And I just am curious if anyone can back it up with any kind of evidence. I'm just going to lob that out there.
Andy, we had this discussion last year, but there are 2 Jalen Hurts games. There's the good Jalen Hurts game, and then there's the
game where Jalen Reagor gets hit square in the face mask and can't corral it on account of his hands being 2 sticks of butter that are halfway melted due to the hot Philadelphia sun. Yeah, those games happen.
Philadelphia fan?
Is Philadelphia known for having a hot sun, Andy?
He does when Jalen Reagor plays football, apparently, and needs to make a game-winning catch on the goal line.
That didn't cost Andy a trip to the playoffs or anything like that. Don't worry, anybody.
Wait, hang on. I did chime in with an actual point.
Sure.
Is there a situation where Trey Lance holds on to the starting job in San Francisco and does not produce consistent weekly quarterback one-worthy
I mean,
performances.
they're giving him the job. They said today, told Jimmy G to kick the road.
Yeah, they told Jimmy G to kick rocks this morning.
So they're going to give it to him, and whatever happens, they're just going to let him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you just got to let him sink or swim.
I think he's super high floor because, again, you're getting almost 10 points a week in rushing, just period. You're going to get quality. You're going to get 60, 70 yards a week in rushing. He's going to have 12 to 15 attempts rushing every game. He's going to get a rushing touchdown. He's their goal line back. But he's got the same Jalen Hurts effect, which is like some weeks he's legit going to score 6 points as a passer. Yep. So it's like
the real question.
In a dynasty league where we're drafting in a dynasty league, I get it. In a redraft for 8 to 12 quarterbacks are going. I'm not all out on it. I think it's a worthy discussion for the viewers to hear us have.
I'm gonna
that's fair.
The nomenclature, the Jalen Hurts effect, and B, I'm gonna refer you to the last San Francisco rushing quarterback who couldn't pass to save his life. In that fantasy season, Colin Kaepernick.
It really worked out for that guy.
Colin Kaepernick season was incredible. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm all in on Lance.
I think comparing Kaepernick's ability as a passer coming out of college to Trey Lance's does a great disservice to what Kaepernick was able to. Again, like Trey Lance has never. He's been a full season as a backup, but he has never had a year as a starting quarterback or a year as a quarterback in an NFL style offense. Like he's never had progressing passing concepts. So it's just like I think he's going to be good. I believe in this. I have Trey Lance in multiple dynasty leagues. I just think it's going to take some time, and I want to hear the league discuss. I'm enjoying this conversation.
For redraft, I understand your point. For redraft, I really do understand your point. Yeah. The question I have is, when does San Francisco just fully transition to the wing T offense and just fully commit to running the ball, like just all the time?
Whatever is after their bye week. When's their bye week this year? Because they will be wing T after the game. It's week 9.
You got to run quarterback.
Week 9 is when they install the wing T and the veer, and that's when he really does become. He's going to be a championship winner.
But even in the wing T and veer, how long do you think? How many people have to get hurt before Trey Sermon sees the field?
No, it's the veer. It's only Trey Lance and Deebo Samuel who are touching the ball. It's just
and Kittle.
Kittle's
all 7 passes a game go to Kittle.
So if you have a movie pick, sir?
Yeah, just to get us up to speed, because I think Joda has had to go also, as well as Kern. So I'm just gonna skip their movies. But I'm picking, which I think is just a sensational mid-ninth, is Good Will Hunting.
No, it's a great movie.
Fire, absolute fire.
So I'm gonna skip Kern and Jonah's movie picks. Kern, I think, is still picking players. He just picked James Cook. He really wanted everyone to know that.
Yeah, I mean, that's not the worst pick.
So, and
Kern actually texted me separately and said he wanted the Veggie Tales movie. I don't know how
he should have
factored that in.
That kind of a movie, he needed to be here for that.
Insisted on it. It was very emphatic.
Jonah texted me. He's picking Samaje Perine. Pretty nice snag there in the 9th. And actually, he also texted me simultaneously. So Kern and Jonah both get the Veggie Tales movie.
Smart.
Yeah. One of them, I think Kevin meant the Pirates one. He's big on the Veggie Tale Pirates one. I just want to clarify that.
Okay.
He might not have added that to the text, but that's what he meant.
Yeah, I'll make that clear in the spreadsheet. Thank you for that. Okay. All right, Tate, you're up to you for the turn.
Well, so I'm struggling right now because I'm amazed that this guy is still here. This late in the draft to get an RB1 is pretty difficult. Having said that, though, I've got to take him.
Nice.
What a terrible pick. Terrible pick.
For the listeners at home, that's Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah, that's
It's
just...
Ramondre Stevenson. I was going to let the anticipation build, but you did good by saying it, Briard.
That's just awful.
And so for my first movie, I'm going to go with... I feel like I've played it pretty safe. And so I'm just going to go with classic Rocky.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's
Okay.
super awesome for the last pick of the 9th round.
Which Rocky?
The first one.
Original? Okay, cool.
If we're asking which one's my favorite, it's the fourth, but
Yeah, I was about to
know
say
that's not where the value is.
I think 1 through 4, you can't go wrong.
Right. Yeah, the fifth
real
one's
quick.
not
Let's
great.
run through it real quick. Everybody, favorite Rocky film? I want to hear it.
Oh, I'll take 2. Two's my favorite.
4.
I'll take 3.
Three's
Him
pretty lit.
and Mr. T is funny.
Yeah, that's pretty lit.
Yeah.
It's almost a comedy at that point, except for Mick. But
Yeah.
what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
All right, I'm on
Jonah
4
Kern.
to finish it.
So on my next movie, I'm gonna do. I already made the pick. It's Alan Lazard, Packers wide receiver 1, aka. And then I'm gonna take Zoolander.
Okay.
Okay.
Word.
Okay.
A lot of foreshadowing in Zoolander earlier.
Yeah.
Jonah has texted me.
But what about male models?
Jonah's texted me that for his next movie picks, he is taking VeggieTales movies 2, 3, and 4 for the rest of his movie picks. I informed him that those weren't movies, but he insists that he has the rights to them if they're ever made. It's
A great investment.
Yeah, this is also a really nice pick that he's getting player wise. Let's see here. Yeah, that's definitely what I would have done here. As someone who he needs this fella. That's what I would have picked. And Curran is here. He's not going to pick a movie. But we do have him. Okay, Ronald Jones, who might not make the roster. That's a pretty nice pick, Kern. I would not have expected anything different. I am going.
I do want to say. Oh, sorry to interrupt. I'm just saying he did just text me and he said that after getting the VeggieTales pirate movie, he doesn't need any more films. He's solid on that. So he's just going to keep rewatching that one.
Okay. I'll mark. I'll mark that down. I am going to take my tight end here, and I like either of my options. For those of you that don't know, I am just the biggest Mooney Fields fan, so I'm going to take Cole Kmet. I'm such a believer. And for my movie, sorry to go movie second there, Lippy, but I am going to take a movie that I don't know. I really like it, but it's not what I've seen in a while. But when it came out, I think I saw it in theaters like 5 times, and I'm gonna take Baby Driver.
That's a great movie. Great movie. Yeah.
So now I'm gonna pass it to you, Lippy.
You can't go wrong with any of Edgar Wright's films.
So I've got a dilemma. I've got 4 movies I want. I have 3 picks left. I hope one of them gets picked before, so I'm not stuck deciding between 2 of them at the end here.
Okay.
As for this pick here, we're gonna go with the $80 million man himself, Christian Kirk. He had to get paid for some reason, so hopefully
that's not necessarily true. Just by the way, there might not have been a reason.
Anytime you can overpay a backup slot receiver, you got to do it.
Yeah, that's the AFC South way, baby.
As for movies, we're gonna.
Lippy?
Oh, did we lose Lippy?
We lost him.
Maybe we had an AirPod.
The ultimate cliffhanger.
Oh man, I'm on pins and needles right
Yeah,
now.
no, I want to know now. He was.
Oh wait, I was muted. I was muted.
There we
Oh
go.
shit.
There we go.
We're gonna go with 7. Has 7 been picked?
No, good pick.
Ooh.
Good
Oh,
pick.
Great
Yeah.
pick.
fantastic.
Great
Okay,
pick.
yeah. 7's definitely what we're going with here.
Word.
Oh, I
Great
get muted.
pick.
Incredible.
I mean, there's someone's got to catch
All right.
from T-Law. So, yeah, up to you, Timo.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess I'll go with the movie. Movie came out this year. It's probably my favorite superhero movie of the last like 4 or 5 years.
Wow.
The Batman.
I was
Yeah.
so surprised
Yeah, great
Lippy
stuff,
hadn't seen
great
it.
stuff.
I was so surprised Lippy
Great
hadn't picked
stuff.
it.
Yeah,
I was
great
gonna do it
film.
despite you,
The
A&F. Great movie.
Yeah, it's so good. As far as a pick is concerned, if we're really going through it, Russell Gage was cool until Julio got there. But, maybe. It's a knock. Why not? We'll go with the true wide receiver 1 in Kansas City.
Okay. Sky Moore, baby. We will.
Has MVS been taken yet?
No, nor should
Kern's
he
gonna be in shambles.
So for this pick, Neil and Jack have texted me their movie choice. It is it's Cheaper by the Dozen 2. They just locked it in. So always crazy to see a movie like that go so late here. We are fortunate enough to know their player pick also, and it's Maurice French, I think. And that's their pick. And Hoot, we're back to you now. After this, we'll be left with one pick, so we're down to the wire.
Is the second F silent?
That's a question for him, not me.
That's definitely a real person. That much we know.
All right. I'm going to run through my movies first, as is tradition. So, another Crone Brother film, A Serious Man. I think it's a great film.
Okay.
Michael Stuhlbarg is one of us. Oh, sorry, what's up?
I haven't seen that one. That's one of the...
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of the ones kind of off the beaten path. It's one of their more autobiographical films. I think Michael Stuhlbarg is one of the most underrated actors we have. It's a tight film, but yet it has like somewhat meandering plot, which is really great. And then fantastic quotes. I'm seriously fucking your wife. I don't want Santana Abraxas. It ties together really well. It's a good one.
Word.
And then for the other one, I have a little bit I want to do on this one. So Magnolia, which I'm not sure if people have seen, but is an absolutely fantastic Paul Thomas Anderson film. Paul Thomas Anderson, one of the best of all time. There Will Be Blood, Boogie Nights, The Master, Punch Drunk Love. You could go with any of them, but Magnolia has always been my favorite. This cast is amazing and all in their perfect role. John C. Reilly doing his first dramatic work and killing it with a lot of heart. William H. Macy as this weak, sad little fellow. Philip Seymour Hoffman, my favorite actor of all time, killing it, bringing emotion and really forming a full character. And then Tom Cruise in what I think might be his best character of all time. And it has what I think is one of, if not the greatest scene in film that establishes a character within 2 minutes. I'm going to run through it real quick for those who haven't seen the movie.
Okay.
So, imagine, black screen, the music from 2001 Space Odyssey plays. Bum, 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 bum. As men hoot and holler in the audience. A silhouette of a man, ripped, wolf knot ponytail, leather jacket, his arms raising with the cue of the music. Spotlight falls on him. His arms flex, applause, and then fall slowly, perfectly until they perfectly frame his bulge. A banner falls behind him. A cartoon wolf standing in a matching leather jacket, matching wolf knot, with its tongue out, about to devour a small, feminine-looking cat. A single line is spoken: "Respect the cock." That right there is the greatest scene and greatest introduction to a character you will ever have, because you know everything you need to know about that character in 2 minutes.
I feel like I was there.
Wounded
Wow.
person with false bravado, misogyny, and the grandiose of a snake oil salesman. In less than 2 minutes, everything is covered, and you're ready to go. I love that film.
That was incredible. That was incredible.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
You're
that's
welcome.
good shit.
Now for my fantasy football picks. I'm not going to pick them, but I do want to shout out. I think the rookie wide receiver that ends up being the best out of this class is Jamison Williams. Big fan. I think that the next Lions quarterback is going to be a quality quarterback out of next year's draft. I think he ends up getting there. As for my pick in this one, I am going to go with a different wide receiver, and I am going to go with the self-proclaimed number one receiver in the league, Chase Claypool.
Oh, of course.
Which
Top
not
three,
a-
and not
again,
2 or 3.
Top three receiver. I am not a huge Chase Claypool fan, but I do believe that as Mitch runs for his life, he will lock in on him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that passing offense is going to work the same way it's worked in the past, and I'm very excited. I think he's got some upside this season. And then since I do have the last pick, and this is just a 12-round draft, I haven't had a draft with defenses in forever, and I don't want to get stuck with the last defense, so I'm going to snag the Bills defense.
Look, we're doing everything we can to get rid of them. That probably happens next off season. There's Anywho, Neil's,
Jack loves defenses.
Yeah, Jack really wanted us to keep kickers, and has really dug his feet in on defenses. So, I mean, what can you do?
So here's my spiel on defenses and kickers. They're both the same thing, which is they're both keeping fuck magic alive in Dynasty, which is it's just a splash of chaos. And it's like, if you like that added splash of chaos, I get it, but it's not. It takes away the rest of the analysis, the rest of the, like, you can somewhat predict them, but they're fucking chaos magic. So I don't know. I mean, I've
because you're dealing with 11 people instead of one player. Like, you're just given 11 chances for some fuck magic to happen. Yeah, I get it. We all get it.
Okay, so Neil has luckily him and Jack are in very constant communication with me. Thank goodness, because their movie pick, they've just texted me and locked it in. They're taking The Adventures of Shark Boy and Love Girl. I mean, who could hate that? And for their picks, let's see here. Oh, of course.
I do want to say that it seems like their movie picks got much better after they logged off.
Yeah.
They are. I mean, there's definitely something to be said for that. I was really surprised, but they said that they know something's coming, and they're really big on the QB market this year. They're gonna pick Drew Brees. So we will pivot now to Timo. You're up, sir, and this is your second to last pick.
Yeah. In the wide receivers, about 4 places down, there's a guy with just no name.
Yes.
Oh, it's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Sorry. Anyway, so I'll just go ahead. It's it's a mock. I'm not too worried about it at this point. But we'll go ahead and just take Michael Carter here.
That's a pick.
Yeah, warm body on the field.
Well, warm body. Not sure if he's going to be on the field, but warm body.
Well, he'll be on part of the field.
He's particularly warm because he's on the sideline standing next to the heater, so he's definitely warm.
Right. It is cold in New York.
Yeah, those frigid New York winters. December's tough.
As far as movies are concerned, what was it, like the 45th anniversary of this movie just happened? I'm gonna go with Caddyshack.
Oh,
great film.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll go with Caddyshack. I don't think it's been taken yet.
Lippy, I don't want to cut into your picks here, but I'm interested in your thoughts and everyone else's. Did anyone have any Russell Gage hype to begin with? And if you did Julio just kill it?
The Russell Gage hype was stupid. That was just hype. That was bored
Yeah.
all season. They need something to type.
I mean,
Tom Brady called him.
at best, he's taken Scotty Miller's role. Like at best, I think like he's just always going to be your wide receiver 3 between your Mike Evans and whoever plays tight end for you. So
Brady called.
I don't know.
He called him.
I do.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I do actually think he's in a real life football. I think he's a good receiver to have on a team.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
I think that
totally,
having that player
totally.
on your team is excellent. In fantasy, I had a little bit more. I was not high on him, but I did think he had like a good role this season. Back
He had
before
potential.
last
Yeah.
week of news, like if Godwin comes back week 1, Julio does take however many plays he's able to play on that. Like he just takes. It's just plays where Russell Gage isn't going to be on the field, and that's the issue there.
Yeah.
So I thought, before those pieces of news, there was a little bit of upside. At this point, you really are waiting for that Julio injury and hoping that at that point, or Godwin doesn't come back. You need some help in order for him to have enough field time to actually do it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think Brady's got the mindset at this point. I got to get the ball out as fast as possible. I don't want to hit the ground. So he's going to look Mike Evans, whoever the tight end is, unless they just can't catch for shit. And then at best, he's third receiver until Godwin comes back. Like, I just don't see it.
That's an interesting take. So you actually think the tight end, whoever it is going to get some play there? Because I think I really felt like the Kyle Rudolph signing just solidified that I don't want any piece of that tight end room. It's just going to be Rudolph just poo-poos.
I mean, I don't think Rudolph's going to replace Gronk 1-for-1 by any means, but I do believe that. Yeah, I think that they're going to see some action. I just don't think Brady's going to want to hold the ball as long as some of these receivers will get.
Yeah,
open.
but he'll check down a Fournette though.
Yeah, he'll hit the running back. He'll hit the tight end. He'll hit the first read. He's not. I don't think he'll even look most of the unless he's got time. He's not looking at the other side of the field.
Yeah.
I just don't see it.
That's a good take.
For movies, has Gladiator been taken yet?
Oh, Lippy.
Nope.
Lippy.
It hasn't been taken, right?
Lippy.
Yeah.
No.
We're
I was so
Gladiator.
excited. No. Oh.
Wow, fantastic. Okay, so Gladiator's what we're going with on our pick here.
Great pick.
Oh, man. I figured that out. Oh.
So then, 2 thoughts though on the draft. You brought up Antonio Gibson earlier. Miles Sanders feels like Antonio Gibson, except a year or 2 older in the league.
I'm a Miles Sanders hater too.
Yeah.
So Antonio Gibson's probably overhyped. Yeah.
Where
He's
is
gonna be Miles
this
Sanders.
from?
Oh, hold on, because I might be the last Miles Sanders guy on earth, but I do exist.
No,
I like
Miles
Miles
Sanders.
Sanders.
Not
well.
to me, you don't. Not to me, you don't.
I like Miles Sanders, but I see what Lippy's trying to say. Like, he's a guy in a bad situation.
Do you think
He
he's got the
just showed
talent?
it a
You
lot
think he
earlier.
should be a star. He's just not, though.
He's in a bad situation.
Well,
He's got Kenneth Gainwell taking all his receiving.
I do think that there's a chance that Miles. I mean, there's a chance they both turn around, but I do think Miles Sanders at his ADP, like where you're getting him.
Oh, it's great value.
It's value.
He's a guy who does have running back. I mean, back end running back 1, high end running back 2 upside, because if he can just get some touchdowns, which with Jordan Howard gone, like he should get a little bit more play. I don't know. I see it there, and I don't want to shit all over Antonio Gibson. I do. Everything you're seeing that the Washington staff and front office is telling you is that they fucking hate him. And on the opposite side, they've done everything to not hand him the ball. Philadelphia hasn't gone out and gotten any other running backs. Like, there's no one.
Right.
He is still the running back 1 there.
And Miles has only been prevented from breaking out by random injuries. I mean, let's just look at his numbers. I mean, he's increased his yards per carry every year.
We can do the yards per carry thing, though, with Singletary. Singletary's yards per carry is like 4.3.
Well, let's just do the yards per carry thing with Antonio Gibson. Antonio's went down from 4.7 to 4. Miles started at 4.6 and has gone up to 5.3 and 5.5. So while there's this narrative out there that Miles' play has gotten worse, it's actually gotten better as he's progressed. He's just he's just getting hurt all the time.
Yeah.
And if you want to
Wow.
grade him for the injuries, I'm not going to fault you. But to compare him to Antonio Gibson, if you watched him last year, I mean, his feet, he just doesn't get it. He does not get the footwork component of playing running back. And that's concerning to me as a guy who he's going into his third year in the NFL. I mean, this is not some rookie in training camp making silly mistakes. This is I mean, we have a large sample size. And in contrast, Miles Sanders has done a lot of good stuff with his similarly large sample size.
I had as
so
many
I don't get the
touchdowns as
comparison.
Miles Sanders last year.
What was that?
Miles Sanders had as many touchdowns as we did last year combined.
But I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah,
Like,
but
if you give him his,
it's not sticky. It's not a sticky stat.
if you just give him 5 or 6 touchdowns, which is super achievable as a starting running back, he had the same season he had 2 years in a row. Which he's running back 2 last year, and that's
Right. Like his efficiency's up. He just can't score touchdowns for whatever reason. Like that's not a sticky stat. That's just the way the game goes sometimes.
And
They
he wasn't-
inexplicably went to Jordan Howard. Like it made no
right,
sense.
right.
Like, they
That's what I'm
let him
saying. Like
plunge
you can't
straight
at
through.
a certain point. You can only depend on efficiency. You can't depend on what the coaches are going to say and do.
Right.
Like you just trust the metrics. Like the dude's good. And at that point, I agree with you. It's a huge value to get him.
And the other thing that we're not taking into consideration, or maybe we are, and nobody's said it yet, is the lines. I mean, the Eagles' line is widely considered far and away top 5, if not the best line in the NFL.
Right.
The football team, I mean, God bless them. I don't know who they're putting back there.
Commanders. It's Commanders.
Commanders, Andy, show some respect. Shit.
Sorry, my
Oh shit.
mistake out there.
Go ahead. What you got, man?
I'm taking
Oh wait, Lippy took Michael Gallup for the studio audience.
he double
sorry.
to me.
Sorry.
He took Gladiator and Gallup.
I thought Gladiator should have been taken earlier.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying I was about to take it there. Oh my goodness, Tilt City. I'm going to take Rondale Moore as my receiver.
It's not just me. It's not just me.
And for my movie, I'm going to take The Big Short.
Quality on the movie. Quality on the movie.
And the
talk me into Rondale Moore real quick. Anybody talk me into Rondale Moore?
There's no talking into him.
I mean, but who else is there? I mean, you got Hollywood for your deep ball.
Yeah, exactly.
You got Zach Ertz, I guess, for your short.
Zach Ertz
Rondale for the medium.
130.
Who else was there last year?
No,
There was nobody else there last year, and Rondale did
But
absolutely.
DeAndre Hopkins and Hollywood Brown are not comparable. Let's be real for a second. They are not comparable.
Wait, DeAndre Hopkins played like half the year.
I mean, Christian
Am I wrong
Kirk
about that?
played. I mean, look, Rondale Moore is a budding star in this young league. I mean, there's the chance that we're talking about him in the same breath as Megatron. I mean, there's really just unlimited upside with Rondale Moore. The fact of the matter is,
I guess my hot take would be that Rondale Moore finishes better in the standings than Jerry Jeudy. That's my hot take for the season.
all right.
Ooh.
I mean,
That's hot.
I think the Megatron take was a little hot.
Someone put that on the board. Someone put that on the board.
Go ahead. Don't even care.
We'll just make
That's the one I'll give you for the season.
I'm gonna make a hot take tracker in a Google Doc. Let's get
Just for whoever cares, Rondale Moore had 14 more catches than Devin Singletary last year.
I mean,
Just throw it out
Singletari's on my team too
Whoever
for a
cares.
reason. That's an elite player. So I've got both of them.
What's that?
I actually think, also to add to that stat, I think that Singletary had a higher ADOT as well.
Oh shit!
Well,
Would
look,
not shock me.
well, look. This
Again,
is look.
It's the biggest hot take
Yeah,
I
exactly.
got.
I mean, this is what I'm saying. You know, we're talking about Megatron. This guy, he's learning how to transform, and we're about to see the transformation.
I don't know that we were talking about
No,
Megatron.
we were, yeah.
Okay.
Who was?
Yeah,
Who was?
All of us.
It's
we were.
the royal we. The royal
okay.
we.
Yeah. let's see here. Big Jonah pick coming up here. I mean, I don't know how you don't love that guy. And then
Yep.
now we're at Tate.
I just want to note, Kern actually texted me separately to tell me his last movie pick was going to be Trolls World Tour, which I personally thought was a reach, but I respect the move. You got to take what you like.
I gotta
More
say,
power to you.
upset of the draft is Trolls World Tour going ahead of Trolls.
Well, yeah, we're all surprised by it.
Oh my goodness.
So this one, I actually had this movie higher on my board, but when I saw that no one was going to take it, I just wanted to see how long it would last. I'm going to take The Prestige.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Okay.
And then for my second, I'm going to take, I think this is my first animated one. I'm going to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay.
Great
Yeah.
Damn.
Hey, Tate, is that your last
That's a
pick?
good one.
That's an amazing
Yep,
last pick.
that's it. And then
The
for
value.
players, I'm going to get some Kadarius Tony. God only knows who's coming back. Oh, the defenses are flying off the board. I'm rattled. Shit. Well, I guess I got it.
Well, Tate evaluates his defensive choice real quick around the room. Best Spider-Man movie.
Into the Spider-Verse.
The first Tobey Maguire one.
But the second Tobey Maguire.
I'm partial to the third Tobey Maguire. Y'all not fans of that one?
I just don't like
It's not good
Grace's
meme.
Venom.
Look, that's the reason there's not a fourth. That's the reason there's not a fourth Tobey Maguire movie.
I guess y'all just are into edgy Spider-Man. That's fine.
I just don't like. I told you, man. I just don't like Topher Grace's Venom. Like, it's not convincing. It's very off-putting.
There's
to me.
a lot about
like
that
it.
movie that's pretty tough.
I'll have the group know that despite Tate's supposed love for the third Tobey Maguire film, the last time he was at my house and I tried to play that movie, which happens more often than you might think, I basically had to belt and suspenders him to the couch with his eyelids taped open to get him to watch.
Oh, you're talking like Clockwork
Yeah, no,
Orange.
this is smart.
Yeah,
Let's put this on the record. That needs to be put on the record. Is that Andy watches Spider-Man 3 frequently, and I was forced to watch it.
I graciously offered to purchase it for my good friend Tate. And he didn't even have the good common decency to stay for the entire film, which he supposedly loves so much.
I do want to defend Andy here real quick. He does recut the film to remove the Mary Jane Watson theater star subplot that is ridiculous. And once you take that out of the movie, it is, a
lot better.
5 minutes shorter, so it's better.
Let me look over my list real quick. See here what I'm missing movie wise.
Sorry, I think I've heard a lot of critiques of that movie, and I don't think that's ever been a top 15.
The Mary Jane Watson subplot?
The theater subplot?
Trying to get the studio audience, the audience of people who've come to watch a Spider-Man film to give a shit about Mary Jane Watson's acting career. Like, Spider-Man should stop saving the fucking world because Mary Jane's, like, she's not even the lead. She's like the seventh on the call sheet for an off-Broadway play.
You made the poster, dude. Ease
That is the
up.
most ridiculous part of that movie, including the finger guns.
Oh
No.
No, it's not.
The finger
No,
guns
not
is
including the
fantastic,
finger gun.
That's classic.
Let's see here. I'm struggling here to finalize my pick.
Oh, for the studio audience at home, Tate took Los Angeles Rams defense.
Oh yeah, they were waiting for that one.
Yeah.
I did.
And
Heard of them.
Jonah selected Lamar Miller, and Curran selected Frank Gore. Good picks all around.
Mm-hmm. They're Hall of Famers.
Does Kevin get bonus points if Frank Gore wins his boxing fight?
He actually loses points because that's points for in our format that he's not getting. So
Okay.
he will be punished for not drafting a better or a boxer. And because he's the commissioner, it'll be a double penalty.
Wow.
So for
He did want Jake Paul. I do know that.
yeah, well that's yeah. He just consumes a lot of Jake Paul content in general. So
He tried to draft it earlier in the draft, not knowing it wasn't a movie.
I'll take Blazing Saddles got taken, but I'll take another great one. I'll take Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Oh,
Awesome
that's good.
film.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I think I'd be a lot better at fantasy movie sports than fantasy football. And I mean, I would pick a defense here, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take Gainwell.
I thought we had to take a defense.
Oh no!
No,
we don't have to
dude,
fill our
you never
roster.
do it.
No.
What a
You
lot of
don't have
people
to.
do is just don't draft a defense, and then as like the fuckery before the season starts happens, you either get someone put on IR or you drop somebody and you pick up a defense right before
Yeah.
the week starts.
You don't have to draft a defense and sleeper
See,
redraft.
you play in real
I
leagues
haven't-
that don't have them, so you don't have to
I
jump
haven't
through these
had a
hoops.
I was going to say, I haven't had a defense in sleeper. Like, since I moved to sleeper, I haven't had defenses in a redraft, so I don't know the rules here. I'm used to the OG ESPN shit where all suddenly you're stuck staring at just the defenses.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
a lot of us just say fuck it to it, and then pick
Yeah.
it up later.
so I will give a shout out to Mr. Hoot. That spreadsheet he made for one of our dynasty leagues is just glorious. You can sort it by team, by position to see the contracts expiring. Oh, if you guys ever need to get a little horny in the afternoon, that's what you need to look at.
Yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome. That was a pleasure of mine to put that together. I am excited. Shout out to one of our other leagues. I'm just going to call it out in this podcast to get people excited about the concept. Doing your own contract-based dynasty leagues where you keep contracts in an Excel sheet, and then the contracts when they expire lead to another. So we have a yearly draft.
It's going to get good.
Following the rookie draft, we will have a fantasy auction operating as free agency. So all of the expired contracts and free agents who didn't get drafted in the rookie draft were just free agents are then put into a auction draft, and then you can bid for those players. Try it out. Big fan of the concept. We're pushing forward, and looking forward to that. So,
In
thank
two
you.
years,
I think I would lose
it's
my
gonna
job.
get good. Once these like contracts expire in 2 years and like actual players start getting in the expired contract draft, wow, it's gonna be it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be so much fun.
As for movies, there's a chunk of movies that are just out on the board. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, just a classic. Saving Private Ryan hasn't been taken yet.
It
Another
has.
classic.
It has.
Oh, it has?
It has.
Okay, good stuff.
Yeah, that
So
was
we're gonna go with
first
round
or
two.
second round pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. We're gonna go with Cars, the first Cars movie.
Okay.
What
Oh my
freaking
God.
movie!
I did not. That's a swerve. I did not expect that after the first two.
Saving Private Ryan to Cars.
I mean, Life is a Highway. That montage. I mean, it just makes a guy want to tear up. Just great stuff.
Okay. All right, Cars.
As for this pick, we're gonna go with tough stuff. The RB1 in Atlanta.
Oh,
Nice.
Tyler Algier.
well. I mean, hey, who can hate
That's a
that?
pick. Yeah.
That's a pick.
Yeah.
He could be.
Oh man.
I bet he catches more passes than Rondale Moore.
Hey,
I bet he does.
look,
Yeah.
aren't you busy doing something? What is this intermittent? Like,
Just so if anyone listening to the podcast wonders, when you hire a top legal team, what you get is somebody not paying attention to your work and instead shit talking people and not paying attention.
yeah. I mean, people.
Do you
You
ever
get what you
get
pay
a
for.
legal?
That's what the elite of the elite law firms really have to offer you. So money well spent.
If you ever get a legal bill that has normal entries mixed in with like Antonio Gibson yards per carry versus Miles Sanders historical data, know that your friend was billing while podcasting.
Sounds good.
Oh goodness.
You know what? Late round. I'm gonna take Hunter Henry. Yeah, I can flip it.
Big
You know,
fan.
I usually
Big
stream
fan.
tight
Elite
end
offense.
anyway.
Big fan.
I like Hunter Henry. I mean,
I do
when
too.
you don't have an elite offense, what do you focus on? Tight end.
Whoa.
No, not you. I heard someone.
He's
I
a
heard someone
part.
chirping.
He's a part of the elite offense. He's a cog in the machine.
Yeah, he brings the offense water.
Hey, he brings.
You did better than Johnny did.
Yeah, he brings the tide of success. Is the waters he brings.
Let's see. As far as a movie,
As far as movies are concerned,
I haven't said a western yet, and it might not be a great western, but it's my favorite action-packed western: The Quick and the Dead.
okay.
Nice.
You got a young Leo. You got Russell Crowe, Sharon Stone. You got Gene Hackman. You know, like, it's not typical western. There's a lot. I think it's directed by Sam Raimi, so there's a lot of quick cuts. But it's a great film. You know, I really enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, solid pick. That closes out your draft. I do have the update from Jack and Neil, and they're picking the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody movie. And
I thought they went off the board already.
No, that was last week's draft. And that'll close it out for them. Hoot, you've got our last player and our last movie.
All right, so I'm gonna finish up. Well, actually, yeah, I'm gonna finish up with the movie, and then I'll do my player. So for the movie, this is my guilty pleasure, my popcorn movie, the true love of my film going, and it's Fast Five. And for those who know me, know that I'm a huge Fast and the Furious fan. Shout out to Satchmo for putting me on them. And honestly, real shout out, if you have never seen it, the podcast How Did This Get Made, which is the actual thing that got me to binge all of the first 4 Fast and the Furiouses and pull an all-nighter before going to see Fast 5 the next day. That got, again, best decision I've ever made in my life. Again, it's the perfect popcorn movie. It's so over the top. This is when they actually become superheroes. They kill the climactic scene in this movie involves them driving through Rio de Janeiro with a tank behind their cars, where they kill tens of thousands of people.
That's the one with
smashing into smashing into buildings. And again, another almost perfect scene is included in this film, which is there's a moment where The Rock and Vin Diesel have come to finally respect each other. And they walk forward. They're about 5 or 6 feet apart, and they start walking towards each other without ever breaking eye contact or without ever breaking their gaze. You think they have eye contact, but then as the camera turns, you realize that they're not looking at each other. And in fact, their faces end up about 2 inches apart from each other, but staring straight ahead, completely sideways to each other. And you wonder, why is that? And then you realize, because there's just absolutely so much raw alpha sexual energy that if they look into their eyes, they still fucking kiss. And like they had done it a couple of times, they just kept having to kiss, and then they realized, like, we can't do this. Just don't look at each other, or else you will kiss. And again, you know, that's just what a director has to do. That's why it's a perfect film.
It's so good. I had it on my list. I'm kicking myself. I was gonna take it with my last pick and didn't. It's possibly the most.
You'd have broken my heart if you took that film ahead of me.
It's possibly the most baby oil The Rock has ever had on his body.
I don't know. It's SummerSlam. Was it 02?
Oh, I'm taking that into account. He has an incredible amount of baby oil on him in that movie.
Oh yeah, it's spectacular. His shirt is legitimately stuck to his body. Like, you could not get it off.
It's one of those old school Under Armour shirts, like the ones that when Under Armour first came out, and they were like, "No, this is actually for sport."
Yeah.
And like that's what he's wearing.
Oh my god.
It's
Well,
incredible.
no, you forget he starts off wearing body armor because of all the bullets and the danger,
Right.
and then But again, like I said, this is the one that they become superheroes. But by the end of the film, he doesn't need the bulletproof vest because he can't be killed. Like they're superheroes, so who cares? Anyway,
They tear down an entire favela. But go on.
Yeah. So with my last pick, and my hot take, which I'm going to throw in the draft, I'm taking Tim Patrick, who I throw it up on my hot take of the year. I think Tim Patrick ends the season with more. How's the way to say this? I think Tim Patrick has more field time by the end of the season than Jerry Jeudy.
He's a good wide receiver.
Right, I think Tim Patrick is the dude who's going to be in their 2 receiver sets. I think Jerry Jeudy, again, I believed in him coming out. The way he's been used so far and how that offense was structured, we'll see how it is on the new coaching staff. But
wait, what?
Oh,
he
yeah.
was hurt all last year. What do you mean how he was used? On his 7 catches?
Yeah, where does he stack up compared to Singletary? I don't know.
That is the real measurement.
Yeah, the Singletary line.
Receptions over Singletary is the new stat to use in case anyone.
Listen. Hoot, love you. But just because you heard Mina Kimes shout out Tim Patrick on her segment hyping up Russell Wilson as the potential AFC most valuable offseason acquisition of the year.
Did she really say that?
She did. That was
as the most valuable AFC offseason addition.
It was some stupid
not
segment.
Not the quarterback of that team.
I don't know. I don't want to speak to exactly the superlative she was lauding him with, but she chose him and spoke about him for an extended period of time on national TV this week. And she specifically shouted out Tim Patrick. That's as far as I'll go.
Okay. Well, I did not see this segment, but I will still stand by my Tim Patrick.
It's perfectly on brand that in Andy's first appearance, he already starts with the Mina Kimes slander in a public forum.
What I think is also worth in that reflection, worth mentioning, is this all happened while Mr. Waters has not drafted a team. So we've got the Skip Bayless approach of not putting performance where the critiques are.
Wow.
Next mock, sir, you're gonna have to put up or shut up. We gotta get
Buddy,
we gotta get you in here in one of the drafts next time.
I'm looking at this draft board right now. I'll pick a round behind each one of my picks to ensure the player would still be on the board. I'd still end up with a roster that would be far superior to everyone's here.
Okay.
Wow.
So while we're listening to these slanderous remarks, let's go ahead with the folks that we still have here, and we'd love Mr. Waters to contribute to this as well. We'll start with Lippy. Give me your favorite pick of the draft and your least favorite pick of the draft, looking at the draft board.
So, my favorite pick of the draft. Wow. This is tough. I think I'm going to have to go with Miles Sanders in the 7th round.
Okay.
Great value. Least favorite pick of the draft.
Why is
probably Cooper Kupp.
Really?
Probably
You hate
Cooper
the
Kupp
pick? I love Kupp.
He's not going to sustain it. I'd love for him to. He's just not going to do it again.
You were a Kupp believer for 50 years, and then you traded him away, and now you can't believe in him anymore. That's the bottom line there.
He's not a top 6 player. He's not a top 6 player.
I don't know, Lippy. I think he's a top 6.
Even if he doesn't sustain it, he'll be good still.
Yeah,
but good isn't first round fan. I mean, if I'm spending a first round pick on somebody, I need them to be a stud.
All of his performances last year were like specifically between like 23.4 full PPR fantasy points and like 26.7. Like he was the definition of sustaining it.
And that's last year. It doesn't matter anymore. I can't spend a first round pick on him.
Yes.
Oh
it doesn't matter.
Well, we'll see. I love Cup,
Hey,
and in this league, I get to keep him for $20. So I'm really happy about that.
What genius drafted him for 20? That's a smart person right there.
He probably won the league. Waters, let's go ahead and get your favorite and least favorite pick of the draft.
my my favorite pick and my least favorite pick are the same, and it's Jalen Hurts at 6.5.
Interesting.
And what kind of a dum dum takes him over Kyler Murray and Dak Prescott? Let's be honest. That makes absolutely no sense. But in any other world where rational decision makers govern roster selection for the other teams, Kyler and Dak are not available at 6.7 and 6.8. So Jalen would be a steal there, provided or given that he is, of course, the odds-on MVP favorite for the 2022 season. That's great value empirically, but to take into context the fact that the highest paid homework doer in the history of the league was still on the board, and I just can't ignore that fact.
Oh goodness.
I'm just glad that we're on the record with me being a bigger Jalen Hurts fan than you now.
It is on the record. The record will reflect that.
The long con is complete.
Look what he made you do. Timo, let's get your favorite and least favorite pick, sir. He might be indisposed, so Hoot, I'm going to kick it to you. Give me your favorite and least favorite pick.
Okay. Favorite? Gosh. Honestly, I don't even love saying this, but Josh Jacobs at 4.8 was the last real running back. And to get that, like, I do like that pick. I do think, again, in the dynasty format, I don't know how long he lasts, but this season with that offense, I think that you're not going to be able to stack the box as much. He's going to get a ton of carries. Like, they're going to get him all the goal line carries. I don't know. I like that pick a lot. I think he has, if that's your RB2, you're psyched. Least favorite pick. I'm kind of going to hot take it here a little bit. Tyreek in the second. Like, I know the end of the second, but I am very scared by the Miami receiving core.
I'm not touching him.
I'm just very scared by everything in the Miami receiving core. I don't know what's going to happen there. Jalen Waddle looked like a target hog last year, but then
he's good.
You gotta throw to Tyreek. You can't pay him all that money and not. You can't make that trade and not. But does Tua have? Can Tua sustain two starting receivers combined of all the other guys who are gonna, I mean, just if you break down target share and break out what any of these fantasy sites are projecting for what these guys are going to get, like Gesicki, Tyreek Hill, Waddle, even what did they pay? What's his name? Watson from Christian Watson from Dallas. Like they paid him close to 10 a year. Like I don't know.
Cedric Wilson.
That's it. Thank you. Cedric Wilson. They paid him 10 a year, something like that. Like I just 8 a year. That entire offense until I see it, and there's going to be, because of that, there's going to be like money to be made there. But until I see it, I'm just terrified of that entire situation.
They're trying too hard to hype up Tua. They're trying too hard to convince the world he's actually really good at QB and not just mediocre. I was a Tua supporter, and they're just kind of trying to just shove it in our face. It makes me really skeptical that he's actually like an above average quarterback in the league. So to support Tyreek and Waddle and Gesicki.
Don't forget about Mike G-Shot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my point. It's just like someone's going to have to lose their targets, and if they all do, let's say they all lose a little bit off their target share. So if you're looking at Tyreek Hill and saying, okay, now he's dropping. He's only getting what? Let's say like 120 targets instead of 150, 140. So say he gets 120, gets 87 catches, but they're no longer. It's not Mahomes. It's not 15 touchdowns. It's not the plays falling apart. It's like it's all going to be in the structure of the offense because Tua doesn't have that. like make a play happen, which is really when Tyreek would get all of his best plays. So it's a lot of like they're all running slants, and like that's where you're trying to get yards after the catch because you're trying to make up for the fact that Tua doesn't have the arm, and it's just I don't know. It all looks. It just is until I see it in action. Maybe it works. Maybe they create the ultimate San Francisco spinoff, and everyone's Deboing their way through it. But I don't know. It looks like a very dangerous trap, and to have that.
Would you rather have Tyreek or AJ Brown?
Wow, see, you hit me here because I'm not an AJ Brown fan. Which Andy's going to lose his mind. But I am not an AJ Brown guy. I think let's put it like this: if he didn't get suspended for gambling, I think the Eagles would have been better off of the Calvin Ridley trade. I think that's the type of receiver they needed.
Yeah,
like that would have fit a lot more for what they need. What Hurts actually needs, which is someone who can get open on his routes, as opposed to AJ Brown, who you're kind of scheming with your offense to get open. Like. He was in a perfect situation in Tennessee to just bludgeon you to death over and over again with a big back, and then hit you on those crossers, hit you on those seam routes. Like that was ideal for him. And if Philly tries to run that same style with him, I don't know if Hurts is gonna. I don't know. I don't love either of them. But if I had to pick one,
none of this makes sense. AJ Brown.
Here it is.
No. I tried to hold my tongue as long as I could. AJ Brown,
barely at all.
AJ Brown is not only an extremely gifted separator, he's a wildly talented possession guy. I mean, if Jalen Hurts is really as inaccurate as all these haters and losers would have you believe, isn't AJ the exact? Even accepting your what you have posited that AJ doesn't get separation. He just has a ridiculous catch rate because of his catch radius. Isn't that exactly the kind of guy you want? Not a receiver who might just spontaneously go AWOL in the middle of one of his routes to freaking go play the slots. I mean, come on. AJ Brown is a picture of dependability, the combination of separation, all skills, and a deep play ability that the Eagles need to open up their offense, which everybody knows they want to run the ball.
Is there a world the Eagles don't win the East this year?
Sorry?
Is there a world the Eagles don't win the NFC East this year?
I don't think
they do either.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, anything could happen. Injuries could happen. But I think, if the Eagles stay healthy, I think they win. 9 times out of 10, they win the NFC East.
Interesting. Could I'm trying to go see how far I can go down the list. Can I get anyone?
Wait, but I'm sorry. I had one more question.
Oh, sure.
Who?
Yes, sir.
Tyreek Hill or Mike Evans? You took Mike Evans 2 picks later.
Mike Evans.
You would have taken Mike even with the Julio signing. You're not worried.
100%. Yeah, I'm taking Mike Evans. I think Mike Evans, even with the Julio signing, with the lack of Gronk, I think that's the bigger thing for Mike Evans. Like I think Mike Evans now is their red zone monster. Like he's got touchdown potential out the ass, combined with the fact that he's never not had a 1,000-yard season. Like barring injuries, I think this could be Mike Evans' best season. And he has finished as wide receiver, 6, 8, 8, 6. Like I just think he's got mad potential in this season.
That's kind of where
you're not worried about the pitch count. I mean, not the pitch count. I'm sorry, the touch count that he's accrued over the course of his career. I mean, this stat sheet to me reads a lot like the AJ Green immediately prior to falling off a cliff.
I mean. If the Bucs,
I'm worried.
If the Bucs leave their excellent confines of an amazing facility to go play on a kid's field and full of rocks, then yeah, I might be worried.
That's a good point.
I'm not worried about him tripping on a rock and ending his career. So I'm good with it. I think he's got another couple of years.
Can I get anyone to take? Let's see here. Can I get anyone to take DJ Moore ahead of Tyreek Hill?
Yes.
Are you guaranteeing me that Baker's the quarterback?
Yeah. We can lock that in.
Yeah, I'll take
That
DJ Moore.
assumes that there's no organizational incompetence, and there definitely is.
Well,
there.
right, we're going to trim a
Wait,
lot of that out.
I'm taking DJ Moore, especially when he gets the second half of the season boost after they fire the coach.
So in that draft, that's almost a 2-round disparity. But
Jeez.
and I think that's the. I don't know. I think that's really interesting because I don't think ADP wise Neil really reached there. I just think it's very interesting because I would take DJ Moore before Tyreek also.
Yeah, and I want to be clear. Like, I
Wow.
can see it if you believe in Tyreek Hill. Like, if you just believe in the talent, believe in the money, believe in the fact that they're going to force him targets because they have to, believe that they're going to, he's going to be the guy who they just run all these routes to get open and whatever. If you think that the new staff doesn't give a shit about Jalen Waddle or Gesicki because they weren't there and they didn't make those picks, or whatever. Like, I can see you believing in it. I just am not, I'm not that guy, and I see a lot more, again, especially at ADP, I see a lot more value in DJ Moore.
I see the downside, but I mean, he's famously one of the dudes who requires the least volume to give you elite production. I mean, he is literally the definition of efficiency. I don't really understand why suddenly him playing with a, average quarterback is making him less valuable than a mid-range wide receiver too. I don't get that at all. I will go on the record saying I think Tyreek is appropriately drafted here, and I might even take him ahead of Debo.
I mean, Andy, this is the thing. I mean, in the last 4 seasons, he's had over 130 targets.
It's a crazy amount of targets.
3 years, of 3 of those 4 years, the 1 year he didn't was when he got hurt, and he finished as the wide receiver, 31?
And you go back to 17, yeah.
He does need those targets, man. Like, he had a great season in 17 on 105 targets.
That was because of the return yards and the return touchdowns, though.
Yeah, and also because, again, that's his second year. He had all that burst. That was he wasn't being covered like that. He wasn't getting coverages shifted towards him at that point. I don't know, man. If he was
17 was Alex Smith too, I think.
Yeah, like that, and that's the best. Yeah. That's what you're hoping for. You're hoping for that, and that's him surprising you. I
don't know, man. I mean, I'd say he got a lot of targets last year, but he really did not get like that crazy volume that it sounds like you guys are describing in previous years.
He got 159 targets last year, which is insane, but he got 135 targets the year before, and he got 137 targets in 20.
He got 135 targets, and he turned that into the number 2 overall wide receiver production.
He had 8 straight games with 9 or more targets, and 7 of those games were with double-digit targets. I mean,
are we talking about 2021?
Yeah, last year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you there, but let's all take a step back and remember that 2021 was the year where everybody suddenly exposed the Chiefs' offense, and Patrick Mahomes was wildly struggling, and there was a lot of weird stuff going on in Kansas City this past year. So I don't know if I'm necessarily going to pull.
In Miami. I don't know, man. I don't know.
But Andy, okay, so even let's go to 2020 and 2018. Like, he's getting 135 and 137 targets and 15 touchdowns and 12 touchdowns. Like
2020, he was. Sorry, no, I'm thinking of 2019.
2019 was when he got hurt.
Yeah, I was thinking that 2020 and 2019 I flipped them.
Anyway, so 2020 and 2018 are the 2 seasons where he still has 137 targets. Like, So this is my thing. Okay, how many passing attempts is Tua going to have this year? Like, how do you get Tyreek Hill 100
for that?
How do you get Tyreek Hill 130 plus targets, plus get Jalen Waddle 120 targets, plus get Mike Gesicki his 60, 70 targets, plus get it's at some point they're throwing the ball
have a hell of a year.
600 times, which they are a run. They're basing their team off of San Francisco, which is a run-first team. It's just again, this is not to say that I'm all the way out on him, but this is just the reasons why I'm skeptical of him as a second-round pick ahead of.
Tua threw the ball 388 times last year in 13 games, right? If Tyreek were to get 110 of those targets, that's a 28% target share, which I think is a fair number. That's in 13 games. I think this is just overblown. I really think that they brought Tyreek in to force feed him targets, and while that may be a lower ADOT, then it will be a lower ADOT. He's still a game breaker.
Tua
I
sucks.
don't know why we're fading a guy who has shown no substantive signs of regression.
Tua
So-
sucks. Everyone saw that video of that wobbly ass pass.
Yeah, the
Fair point.
question is he's going from possibly the greatest skills quarterback of all time to a dude who they already have added an extra first round draft pick to replace next year.
But circling back to DJ Moore though, I can't, without stats aside, I can't justify taking DJ Moore over Tyreek Hill so I can watch Baker Mayfield and or whoever else sail balls over DJ Moore's head. I'll go insane if I have to do that week in and week out.
Yeah, so that's what's so surprising to me. I'm a DJ Moore hater, and I can't believe it. I would find myself taking him instead of Tyreek, because I definitely get where you're coming from there. It's not like that's some great solution. Let me go ahead. Let's pivot. Tate, let's get your favorite and least favorite pick here, and then we'll go to me, and then we'll close out here.
Okay. My favorite is probably, just looking at it, I really like getting Elijah Moore in the 8th. I think he's a stud. And I look, last year he played well with calling it less than stellar QB play is being very generous. But I like his odds, and getting him that late, I've seen him go much higher than that. So I like the value there. I'd say the worst thing I liked the least was when Kern took Baby Geniuses with his last pick. It didn't make sense to me. I don't know why he wanted that movie so badly. And I really didn't understand that. I thought there were better things on the board. No, but I really hate Akers in the 2nd. I just can't. I understand that there are people who really like Akers. I think he's good, but that's just too much for me. I just can't get on board with that.
Yeah.
Real quick. Sorry, real quick. I'm sorry to interrupt again, but real quick on the Elijah Moore thing, because I think this is a really interesting thing. I do also like the talent of Elijah Moore, but is anyone else? Am I the only one who's super concerned that his breakout came without Zach Wilson as the quarterback? And then as soon as Zach Wilson fucking sucks. As soon as Zach Wilson is the quarterback again, Elijah Moore does not get those targets anymore, and instead he goes back to force feeding targets to.
He loved Corey Davis.
Corey Davis.
Just loved Corey Davis. It was bizarre.
Some of us would not hate if he loved Corey Davis. I'll put that out there. Some of us are pretty heavily invested in Corey Davis and would be fine with that.
I don't think it's necessarily as much as he loves Corey Davis as I think he locks into his X receiver. He just locks into his single. If he has single coverage on one side of the field, I think he's just fuck it, I'm waiting until that guy's open. And I don't think that that's ever going to be Elijah Moore. I think that ends up being, oh my god, I just drafted him in this draft. Why is my brain messing up?
Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, Garrett Wilson, or again Corey Davis. And if those dudes are the ones getting the single coverage on the getting the single receiver side of the field, and Zach Wilson's just locking in on that side, yeah, he was a rookie. Maybe he progresses. He opens up the whole field. Yada yada. I think Elijah Moore has all the talent, and in a better team with a better quarterback, I think he's an absolute steal there. But I have a lot of concerns that the fantasy community as a whole is basically taking a 4-game sample size when Elijah Moore rightly blew up, but without the starting quarterback
with the future of that bag of a quarterback. Now, I mean, I completely agree with that. But Lippy, what I will say, a point in Elijah Moore's favor, the true wide receiver one of the Jets is on the Bills now, and all of those beautiful Crowder targets, they're gone.
I kind of like the Jets this year.
No, I don't.
They may be okay.
The Jets fucking suck. I can't believe they've done this again.
Jets, Dolphins,
Dolphins.
I also kind of like the Jets.
I just
like the Jets. Don't know if I like Elijah Moore at his ADP. I don't even know.
Can I
In
just point
Dynasty,
out?
That's, like he's below his ADP right there, where he's being taken. I feel
When you're
like.
talking
Like,
wide receivers lower than 40, I don't think ADP matters at that point.
Can I just point out that the last two games of Elijah Moore's breakout, which is like 60% of his breakout, were with Zach Wilson, and he had 8 or more targets in both of those games. And you, before you poo-poo the Houston game, saying, "Oh, he only had 46 receiving yards," keep in mind that's about a third of Zach Wilson's passing yards in that game.
what are you talking about? The two his only game with Zach Wilson is the Philly game.
No, what? No, Wilson
Houston,
played
the
in the
Philly
Houston game.
Yeah, the Houston
and
and Philly.
Philly. Yeah.
He had
So Wilson came back and continued the Elijah Moore breakout.
He had 46 yards in one game and 77 yards in the other game and one touchdown.
8 targets, and then 12 targets in the Philly game.
I don't know, man. The games that everyone gets hard on, like the games that everyone wants, the why you're drafting there is the Miami game, the Indy game, I'm like that, and those are all the Mike White specials, you know.
And he had more targets than all of those games in the Philly game. I mean, I get where you're coming from. The Mike White specials delivered the touchdowns, which delivered the fantasy juice, but it's not like Zach Wilson came back and he just like completely ignored Elijah. And plus, it's consistent with the training camp connection that everybody raved about, to the extreme chagrin of anybody who wanted to snipe him in the late second of any kind of dynasty rookie draft.
Well, yeah. Again, I think he's got talent. I'm not trying to say that he wasn't a good pick there. I'm not even trying to push people down on him. I love these conversations. I want to hear everyone talk about it, and I do have concern that the fantasy community at large is basically taking a sample size about the right quarterback and going, "This is what you're getting."
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
I'd be more concerned with Gabe Davis, though. Like of the small sample size stuff.
Oh, agreed.
Like
Agreed.
Like that's more concerning to me, but just because I think Elijah Moore has more talent than Gabe Davis does.
No, the Gabe Davis hype has gotten insane, and like as a Gabe Davis owner right now, I'm highly evaluating selling because it's out of this world. But yeah,
it has blown up. But in response to all of this, I will just posit that if you assume Tua has the same number of attempts this year as Jalen Hurts did last year, and that Tyreek has the same percentage target share as Michael Pittman did in 2021 of Carson Wentz's targets, you get 110 targets. And you know what that is? That's a wide receiver too. It's a wide receiver two with wide receiver one upside with a touchdown.
I want all the listeners to just visualize the Alan from The Hangover scene where he's doing all the numbers in his head. Like that's what Andy just did.
We got
come up with that analogy.
Pittman had a 25% target share of Wentz's 516 attempts. Hurts had 432 passing attempts. If you give those to Tua and you give 25% of those to Tyreek, he gets 110 targets. He turns those into 110 90-yard tutties. Okay.
This is what those billable hours will get you.
Yeah.
I would say it's a damn shame you didn't participate in that draft, because with takes like that, who even knows where you would have gone?
Pretty dehydrated.
Let me real quick do my favorite picks. I don't know. I really like the bots pick of Michael Thomas at 7-9. I fucking hate the Saints, but I think he's going to come back and be pretty good. I thought about picking him there, but I wanted Kareem Hunt. I don't know. I think Michael Thomas has gifts left to give to the world. And it looks like he's going to be healthy after camp, and then he'll play in the preseason. My least favorite pick... there's a lot of them I don't like.
Any of Andy's picks.
Yeah, all of Andy's picks I hate. No, I guess I mean, and I know that it's a Curran pick and it will seem just like normal Curran slander, but I just don't like the Godwin pick. I don't think that's even like an inappropriate pick to get him at 5'6". I'm just really out on Godwin, and I just want nothing to do with it. So, and I just think there's a lot of other shit you can get right there, and Chris Godwin isn't what I would want to do. So it's not even that offensive, but Chris Godwin is a big no go for me this year. So that's
Why?
I'm just so I've always been like a Godwin hater. As you'll come to know, I really just hate a lot of players. But I really don't like. I'm just looking at it nearby as the ETN pick. I don't like that either. So
Mhm.
I might pivot to that actually. I think that's more of a egregious pick. I really don't like that pick at all. So either of those two. Anyway, as why I'm a Godwin hater, I think Godwin's really pretty good at football. He's a little bit better than me. But I don't know. I just whenever I watch him play football, I I just think to myself, goodness gracious, he's just not as talented as the numbers make him look. And I have no like factual reasoning to back that up other than I just like watch him just like I just don't get it. Like and obviously every year he's like super talented and is just great. But I'm just a hater and I just watch him I think he's slow and I think that he shouldn't be as good as he is. And maybe
I
that's
get
just,
that.
I'm just a hater.
I kind of look. I do think he's a talented player. I think there's in a redraft format like this, there's a lot of risk baked in with that. Like coming back from an ACL, if he doesn't play until say he has a setback in the offseason or even doesn't start playing until week 4 or something like that. That's hard with your what was it? Was Kevin's wide receiver 2 there? It's just he took all those right. Yeah, and to take him when he needed a running back that badly, like I don't know. I'd risk it on running backs. I would even taken. I get your point. I think there's better picks there. I don't think he's a bad player, but again, that risk of when he comes back in a redraft. And I do think all great points on Michael Thomas. I think Michael Thomas' season is back. I don't know how long it's going to last, but I mean,
or when it's going to start.
Yeah.
Andy, do you think Michael Thomas' season is back?
I do. I do think when he plays, he'll be great. I just don't want any part of the risk of him not playing. And as someone who, much like our beloved Hoot, is prone to recurring ankle sprains, I don't trust a guy whose game is built off quick start-stop ability coming back after 2 years of ankle injuries. I don't buy it.
So here, Andy, I want to do this with you. Who do you think misses more games, Thomas or Goodwin?
Oh, I love this. I'm going to go Thomas. Because I think the Saints have the depth to absorb a couple maintenance games at wide receiver for the first time in what feels like a decade. And I think Godwin has proven...
also.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They kind of do too also, but Godwin will literally play through just about anything. I think that's like aside from like a season-ending injury.
Like sign something he literally can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
okay, you think about 2 years ago, he literally was out there with a club, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
still catching balls. Like it's crazy what he was doing.
So okay, so you think Thomas misses more? You think it's like a game or two, but you know we'll give it that. So who do you think's a better? Who do you think has more fantasy points per game when they're on the field?
Oh wow, I probably MT.
I think
okay, so do you think
easily MT?
So then my question here is: do you think the games missed between Michael Thomas and Goodwin is large enough to, in this draft, have justified a 2-round gap?
I think the risk tolerance factor makes it worth the gap. I mean, that's what it comes down to with injury-prone guys, right? It's do we feel good about having to potentially rely on this guy for an entire year? And in terms of concrete information that we have, an ACL recovery there is a much more significant sample size of guys coming back and successfully playing a full year with no issues and no significant talent drop-offs at Godwin's age. There is no precedent for what has happened to MT. and that just introduces an element of
Scary.
risk. So I think it comes down to feelings, and for me, I'm not into it.
Let me ask you a different question, if real quick. So with Kern's team, it kind of works out, right? Because he's got some other really great receiving options. Let's say Godwin's at the team 9 spot, someone that goes 3 running back and then a quarterback or tight end. I mean, could you do Godwin as a wide receiver 1? Because there are going to be plenty of teams that draft that way in redraft of going heavy RB and they're looking for a wide receiver 1. I don't think you can draft Godwin that way.
I think you can.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't know. I think
He
you
got
can.
cleared already, so I think you probably could. Like, I wouldn't love it. I wouldn't feel phenomenal about it, but like,
Listen,
I think you probably could.
If he's healthy, he's in the league's best offense as a premier red zone threat. Like I don't know why you wouldn't be comfortable rolling the dice week to week, counting on a wide receiver 2 or better outcome.
Sure.
And with pretty high hopes of a wide receiver 1, tidy little 5 catches, 80 yards, and a touchdown, I'd be okay with that. I think that's a great question. I would be very comfortable if the right running backs fell to me in the first, second, third, or fourth.
Yeah.
I'd be very comfortable waiting on wide receiver and relying on Godwin as my 1.
Yeah. Interesting.
So Andy, follow-up question on that. Wide receiver 1, same position. Do you think they fell the right way? Would you take Godwin over who was that Who was that pick? It was
Judy after him.
Yeah, Judy and then Metcalf, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what those 3 like that little group?
Yeah, I would.
You're taking Godwin?
I am. Yeah.
Okay.
I am. I'm worried about.
I think I would too.
I'm worried about Thielen's just like body. I'm worried about Judy's ability to not break into vehicles and steal car seats, and I'm worried about I'm worried about whoever the hell the quarterback is in Seattle.
Yeah, I think I would take.
I'd feel better with Kendall Hinton back there.
Yeah. Oh, go.
I mean, this is a hot take coming from me, but I guess if you did have that team that you went heavy running back and like now you're locked in with a bunch of running backs, you got a good floor.
Mm-hmm.
Am I the only one who's crazy enough to think like I'm looking at these these receivers who went here? Because you can get good boom or bust receivers later. Like MT's falling late at that pick when that strategy. If you're going robust RB, I kind of want my first wide receiver to be like steady, someone I can count on.
Right.
Am I the only one of those next like 5 receivers who thinks Brandon Cooks is the move?
Oh, I would take.
Whoa.
I would take if that's my team. Then I would take all 3 of the receivers that team 9 took as my wide receiver 1 before Godwin. I would take, but just because I prefer MT to Godwin. And then I think Metcalf and Cooks are going to be more steady and better, like more reliable options.
Metcalf scares me, but like
busting.
Yeah,
I think Metcalf busts hard.
Metcalf scares me. Cooks is like
I don't think Metcalf's going to bust.
Guaranteed. I feel like Cooks is just a guaranteed wide receiver 2 at a minute. Like he's going to be a high end wide receiver 2. Maybe he falls into the back end of the wide receiver 1 range, but he's definitely like 11 through 17. Like that's his wide receiver finish area. Mm-hmm. And if you've gone heavy on the running back and like that's how you're going to grind down teams, I don't know. I feel like I'm leaning towards that over like Godwin, who's not going to like be just the risk there. Metcalf, who might bust hard. MT at value, I think, is great. But like if I get Cooks, MT at value, and like Hunter Renfrow in the 8th, and I have 3 receivers, an elite tight end. 3 running backs, an elite tight end, and then went Cooks, MT, Renfrow. Like, yeah, I'm ready to go. Like I'm winning on the backs of my running backs. That's what the team wins.
This is not even Texans biased here, but Brandon Cooks is still undervalued there at 6'4". Absolutely.
I'm with you, but I'm not taking him ahead of Godwin. I mean,
I would. I'm again certified Godwin.
He's really good.
Again,
Okay.
I'm not Andy. I'm not saying in a vacuum. I'm saying in a specific like draft format where you
No, I
take
know
in,
where you need a specific
like
type
you've
of
gone to
weekly
robust RB. You've
boom or
gotten
bust production. Yeah.
like say you went with I don't know, you got Eckler, or say you got Travis Kelce in the first round, and then you got Alvin Kamara, Leonard Fournette, and I don't know, Zeke or something like that, or Josh Jacobs. So you've got three running backs who are like the core of your team. You've got Travis Kelce as your boom guy. Now you're looking at your first receiver here, and like, that team that you have right there is one where you need to plug in like a solid, steady guy. You're gonna take the boom bust of Godwin or Judy or Metcalf, or
I reject the premise that Godwin is boom bust. I just don't buy that.
he's boom bust
I
because
mean,
of injury. I'm exclusively talking about the injury.
Okay. I see.
No,
what you're saying. I know we're saying
if you tell me Godwin plays all 16 games this season, I think it's a no question. I'm just like,
I don't think he does though. That's the thing.
I think he probably will.
I hope he does as a Godwin owner in several leagues, but I'm concerned enough that in a draft like this,
I mean, why? All he did was tear his ACL.
I mean, he had surgery in January.
So, I mean, didn't Cam Akers come back from Achilles surgeries quicker than that?
And looked like dog shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
like there's a reason.
I think that probably speaks to the substance of the injury more than the recovery. I'm just saying.
No,
an Achilles surgery in January is not at all atypical to turn around and get the peak of your powers, the latest mid-season.
Again,
today's day and age, that's a 6-month recovery.
Again, maybe I'm.
I mean, Hunter Henry came back mid-season. Remember that?
Yeah. Again, maybe I'm being a little conservative on it. I do like Godwin, and I don't know. I see your point. I'd have a hard time with it. I just do think there's a. I don't know. It's a good discussion. I think.
It's definitely a good discussion.
This is also probably me just reading too much into bullshit that won't matter come week 2. But I'm even less confident in Godwin. Again, this is just tabloid shit. That they went and signed Russell Gage. They signed Julio today. I don't know. I'm just so out on Godwin, and it's just like every sign is saying, "Hey, probably don't do this. You're not going to be glad if you come out with him as one of your top receivers." Now, if you've got a team set up like Curran did in this draft, I think that's probably the only way he'd end up on one of my teams. But I don't know. It just is so much bad juju. It's like the universe is trying to tell you, stay the fuck away. I'm just so out.
I just don't get it though. I mean, he produces. Last year, the first 10 weeks, he had either 4 catches for 40 or more yards in every single game. He had 4 and 40 in all but one.
Yeah.
He had 3 100-yard games over that stretch, 5 touchdowns. I mean, he's just like a model of consistency, and he's in the league's best offense. I mean, that's the thing that I really just don't think can be overemphasized enough.
I know. I think I'm too scared of the injury, just of him falling off for whatever reason, and then the signings and moves they've made for whatever reason are spooking me. And I've just hated him his whole career, so that's just like a perfect soup of me being super out.
As a fellow AFC South truther, you of all people should not be spooked by the Julio signing.
I mean, so that's kind of what. Yeah. I don't know. I don't put that all on Julio though. I think that he'll have some juice left. Now I think it's more of a signing that.
Wait. I'm sorry. I was plugged into the Titans stuff for this. Did you hear rumblings of what went wrong in Tennessee?
No.
They squarely fucking placed the blame. Sorry, FCC. Placed the blame on him.
Really?
Like Vrabel trashed him. And Vrabel's not that kind of guy. I mean, he
was a player's guy in Houston.
And you think about the bad eggs he's been dealt. I mean, like Kevin Dodd,
Yeah.
The edge rusher that they signed over from the Falcons, who just like literally didn't show up.
The year with Clowney with 0 sacks.
Yeah, he never trashed those guys. Quite. I mean, he
Who was
trashed
that
Clowney.
tackle who they cut after one season after drafting the first round?
Oh yeah, holy!
But they didn't cut him. They traded him to the Dolphins, right, for like a 7th round pick or something.
Oof.
And everybody was like, "The Dolphins are so smart," and then the Dolphins cut him next week.
Yeah.
But no, they like.
I didn't know
trashed
that.
Julio.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and maybe it was just a fit thing, but they were heavily implying that his work ethic has declined substantially.
I mean that might be true because he looked like dog shit out there. So he might be toasted.
Again, but even that I think though, NF, to circle around to your point, I'm a bit devil's advocate in here now, but like circling back to your point, to see how dog shit he looked, and then to still want to sign him after signing Russell Gage to a good contract, after bringing in another tight end, after having that there's clearly some part of that team that was like, we need more receiver depth. And why, if you're confident Godwin's going to be back? And again, right. I know the report he's going to be back.
This is the team that signed Antonio Brown like straight out of the mental hospital. I mean, and he was subject to the whims of their star quarterback.
Hold on. And Antonio Brown was awesome for what they got him for. Like,
yeah, but like, it was insane for them to sign him. Right? I mean they've made moves that have been questionable before. I don't know. I don't think we're. I don't think we should impute competence where there may not. It may just be strokes of luck, you know.
Well, I mean, they may have looked at the situation like you're saying when they brought in Antonio Brown, like they had Godwin, they had Evans, like their offense was firing on all cylinders when they had all three of those guys. So, you know, it may say less about their feelings about Godwin and more about like, you know, maybe they paid the money to Russell Gage and they've seen him out there and they're like, you know, he's a good fourth guy, but you know, we need a little more juice at the, you know, for the third guy, especially with Gronk being gone. And I mean, the Kyle Rudolph sign just doesn't mean anything to me. So I don't know. I don't think any of those moves are an indictment of Godwin. Like I think he's a stud. Like Andy's saying, he's just really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think when he's on the field, he is. I agree that I'm probably overvaluing the ACL injury. I don't know, something about that team. Again, in this specific fact pattern, I'm not saying I wouldn't take him. I'm not saying it was, you know, but I do think it gives me pause, and I think this might be the favorite discussion of the night. I like this one.
And I think we can all conclude we'd rather have Davis Mills top target than Tom Brady's.
Yeah, big time. Yes, the neck mafia is here. All this Jimmy G to Houston talk is complete tabloid garbage. We have our General Mills.
Where do we think Jimmy G ends up?
I don't know. I really think it makes no sense for him to come to Houston. There's a lot of hubbub about that right now, but any Texans fan that I've talked to is in complete agreement with me, and that is, we see what we have in Mills this year. If it doesn't work out, we send him, you know, we spend one of these picks we've got in this year's draft. I think it's going to be a juicy one because I do think Watson gets a year's suspension, and we'll get Cleveland's first, and our first will be pretty good too. We'll grab a good quarterback if Mills isn't it. Or he turns out to be pretty decent, and we can build around him. So I think there's no point in Jimmy G coming to Houston. I
think a Jacoby Brissett-led Browns team still probably wins like 8 games. Is he that much worse than Baker? Like an injured
Baker? 8 games last year?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like a Baker who can't, like,
I don't know.
A Baker who can't, I don't know, like a shoulder injury Baker.
I also don't think Deshaun gets a year, but yeah.
I think.
But I agree with your point. Like, if I was the Texans, I wouldn't be bringing him in because what's the point of that? Like,
yeah, exactly. Like, what's
you're not ready to compete, which is the same argument for all of the teams that could bring him in. That's why I'm like so confused on like where GG ends up. Like, what? First of all, why Seattle? Why would you do that? Like, you're clearly tanking.
They're not going to. If they did go for Baker, they're not going to get Jimmy G.
Yeah. So what team does it? Does Carolina do it too, and just throw all of them together and make them
I
fight to
hope
the
so.
death, like the Joker with the pencil scene?
Yeah, that'd be so awesome. Yeah, we're having tryouts. No, I don't know who would take him. I mean, the only people I can think of, if the Steelers didn't already have Mitch, I'd think that could actually be a good spot, and just have young lad develop under him. But I've no idea where he could go because him going anywhere as a starter doesn't make sense. So I have no idea what market.
Yeah, I think it has to be a backup for this year at least.
Yeah.
But then no one's trading for him, like because you're not.
No, I think they're gonna cut him.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're gonna look ridiculous after talking all that. We've got two seconds offered for him, not trading him through the whole season. If they have to just cut his ass, that's gonna look. I don't know.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
Tough. That's a tough look for my guys.
Yeah.
But a guy who took them to the NFC Championship too. I mean, that's not gonna play well to like potential free agents either.
Yeah,
That's
a mess. You gotta try and trade him. You gotta, which is why they're gonna have to sit on him all the way through training camp and preseason, waiting for someone starter to get hurt.
Yeah, an injury. Yeah,
and that's their path. They're like waiting for I don't know, if Matt Ryan just succumbs to age, like
just
that's the move.
Dissolves into the wind.
Yeah.
I'm all in on Matt Ryan this year. By the way, I want to get that on the record.
I love him.
He's available for trade at Fuckfest, by the way. Just let me know.
I already went out and got Mr. COD, so I'm good.
Let's see.
I gotta say that COD. I don't know if anyone saw about that tweet earlier today, where it was like the Call of Duty release date followed by Kyler Murray's drop. That is my favorite stat since the James Harden plays more cities of good strip clubs.
Oh, that was a nice compilation. We our clubs take every first Friday off in remembrance of James. Yeah, Timo sent us that chart earlier. I guess let me go ahead and get y'all because we've done everyone else that's come on the pod. I missed Timo's, and we'll get him next time. Give me y'all Super Bowl prediction and your Super Bowl winner of that matchup.
Eagles, Titans. Aye.
What? What? Y'all are tanking. What?
That's the most homer fucking pick I've ever heard.
It is. It really is. Both sides of it.
It's literally both of his homers.
I mean, okay, so I know we got to wrap up here pretty soon, but I've talked with Neil and Hunter, our Apex boys that are big Titans fans. What in the fuck was that trade? I am blown away just by the incompetency of these AF South compatriots. Like, we had the Colts just dog fuck us for a decade, and now y'all are just giving it back to them. I'm so disappointed in the Titans. Like, what's your best hope that the person you just drafted is almost as good as the player you traded away? Why? Why, Tennessee?
If I hadn't been at a work event, I would have had a reaction just as strong as I did when the Titans traded up in 2015 and instead of selecting Laramie Tunsil went with Jack Conklin. Because that was
a favorite day of my life.
That was one of the most imbecilic trades I've ever seen in my life. And the only way I can see it potentially bringing any kind of benefit to the team is if it is a 4D chess move to lull the rest of the division into thinking they have hope before busting out cyborg Derrick Henry, new and improved, to ram 500 carries down their throats.
I feel the worst for him because that franchise has just signaled to him you might win the division and you might win a wild card game, but that's it, bud. Your career is done and you're going out to pasture here in 2 years. And
Hey, as long as he gets to play out that contract, I don't think he cares how many playoff
I don't
games
think
he
I don't think he
wins.
does either. I don't think he does either. I was blown away by that, and I have no earthly idea why that. I just like the Saints have proven, the Rams have proven, so many teams have proven that you could work your way around the cap. Um,
Mhm.
I just it just doesn't make sense. And maybe there was bad blood. I haven't heard any of that. Like I haven't heard anything like AJ Brown didn't want to play in Tennessee anymore. I haven't heard anything like
No,
that.
no, it took him by surprise. He's like extremely vocal on social media, and like he would have said something.
Yeah.
He just got traded. They just tried to outsmart themselves and arbitrage their way into some cap space that they then spent on vastly overpaying Harold Landry.
Just a very silly series of moves that I'm very happy for, because Titans fans being miserable is, I mean, I'm finally ready to enjoy football again and watch Texans games, and
That's what
and
makes me
show,
think this is 4D chess, because I think you are sitting here ready to kick back and watch the suffering of the Titans. When in reality, they're just doubling down on 45 carries a game for Derrick Henry, and that does not bode well for anyone playing the Titans.
do you think the Titans win the division?
I don't think so. No.
It's got to be the Colts division to lose.
It is.
Oh yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, and I don't. And with the AFC West, I don't think the Titans are making wild card. So.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I just don't see them. I don't see them beating the Colts this year. No, Shaquille Leonard leading that defensive unit against
the man reborn. All right, guys. Well, look, look, real quick. Let me get y'all Super Bowl takes. Then we got to get uploaded, because I'll let this stew overnight with the YouTube business. So
are we letting Andy take that Homer fake pick, or are we gonna make him actually pick a real one?
Let's get a real take. Let's get a real take.
I actually do think the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl.
Really?
Yeah, but not against the Titans. So like,
no, I sneaky think it's going to be the Ravens.
Really? That's interesting.
I think there's been too much shitting on Lamar. Sorry, again, FCC. I think there's been too much criticism of the Ravens front office for, doubling down on the running back position, flipping Hollywood. I don't know. I think they've flown under the radar pretty significantly this offseason. Everybody has largely forgotten that Lamar is unbeatable at his peak, and he's stepping into year 2 with Rashad Bateman, who I think is the most underrated wide receiver in the league right now. And I don't know. That defense it's good, and you don't need an elite one to win it all when you have a quarterback like Lamar. I think they get a couple lucky breaks. They're right there.
Well, okay, Ravens, an all-bird bowl. Let's Tater Hoot. Let's get y'all's.
yeah. I'll go. I actually also have the Ravens with Andy for really the same reasons, because I've been a huge Lamar fan, and literally like the only reason they were bad last year was because so many people got hurt on their team.
Mm-hmm.
Like they still played, they were playing well, and I think it's a smart organization. Like I have a lot of faith in that organization. On the NFC side, I'm really between two. I think it's either going to be Tampa or the Rams repeating, and I think I'm going to go Tampa just because I feel like I'm interested to see them shift. It seems like they're wanting to do a little more running, so I'm curious to see how that works out. But I think Tom's just going to, this is going to be his last run, so he's going to go all out. So I could see them making it.
who wins, Tate?
I'll take the Ravens in that.
Nice. All right. I love your Tampa pick. I do think Tampa's got to be the team to beat the NFC. sneaky team that like I think everyone's thinking is it's over, but I do think they have a chance is Green Bay. I just think we've seen time and time again that like the more you discount and piss off Aaron Rodgers, the better he performs. What would be more Aaron Rodgers than like dragging Alan Lazard and Sammy Watkins to a Super Bowl?
Who's the worst wide receiver one on a Super Bowl winning team in the last 20 years?
It might soon be Sammy Watkins. I don't know.
Yeah, God, Super Bowl winning.
Yeah.
Fuck. Who was the Ravens wide receiver one in their Super Bowl? Is it like the Ray Lewis Super Bowl?
Is that Anquan Bolton? No.
It was 2001, so that's beyond the 20 years.
Oh, okay. Then who was the Ravens?
Probably somebody bad.
Who was the Ravens wide receiver in their Joe Flacco Super Bowl?
That was
oh God,
that was Steve Smith, right?
Yeah. No, was that
Torrey Smith, right?
Yeah, it might have been Torrey.
I think
Smith.
it was Torrey Smith. Steve Smith was after.
I'll take a Ravens Super Bowl is who I'll pick in that answer. But no. So for me, I think it's Tampa versus. Oh, I just had this. Who did I have in the AFC? The Bills. I think the Bills finally get over the hump this year. I think the Von Miller signing was a smart all-in move on their part. That was one of the last things they really needed to jump on. I think that safety core is awesome. That offense is explosive. As long as Josh Allen stays healthy. I know we kind of talked about the hype on Davis being too high, but I do think he has a potential to step up. And even without it, adding the slot receiver like we talked about earlier of Crowder, I think that's a great move. I don't know. I just think that Bills team probably should have made the Super Bowl last year and have a good home field advantage. I know they've got all the Jad Juju against them, but yeah, I'll take Tampa versus Buffalo, and I don't know. I want to say Buffalo because I'd rather them 100 of 100 times, but if Tom Brady is really going to come back on a fuck you tour and do it with the team he has, as long as he doesn't fall apart, which he's shown no sign of doing, that's a hard team to beat.
That Bucs team is pretty good.
I honestly think the only thing that would scare me on my Bucs pick is if the Saints do somehow fight their way into the playoffs, because I do think we are a bad matchup for them.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. That's sneaky good point.
Like, if the Saints don't make the playoffs, I'm not scared of any team the Bucs playing. But if the Saints make it, we just match up really well against that offense. The defense is not scared of them one bit at all. And, you know, Jameis
got home field advantage. I mean,
and Jameis would want that. Jameis would want that win more than anything.
Yeah,
so
that is his Super Bowl. Yeah.
Yeah, he wouldn't. If we got a first round Saints Bucs game. After that, like, Saints could lose after that first
divisional round. The Bucs or the Saints lose by 40 to the 49ers or something.
Yeah, no, we wouldn't even care. I mean, the whole team would be out at the club all week. Like, it'd be over if we were the ones to actually end Brady after he ended Drew, the Jameis revenge game. Oh yeah, CD Deuce would be an instant follow on all of Twitter that day. Well, he already is, but that'd make it necessary.
Push notifications.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. Well, that's where I'm going to close it out. Oh,
ANF, you can't leave without telling us yours.
Oh, well, so okay. I forget who I picked from the NFC. This was a while ago. I think this was before Brady unretired. Was when I picked. But my call for the dub. Perhaps my RB2 pick gave it away. I am picking the Raiders to win the Super Bowl. Wow. I think the Raiders are going to be crazy good. I think at the time, because Brady was retired, quote unquote, I think I had the Rams making it back. With Brady back, I think the NFC Championship is Rams and Bucs again. Maybe we've just spent so much time tonight talking about them, but I guess I'll give it to the Bucs. And I will still pick the Raiders to win. I think they are going to be electric this year. I think their defense is sneaky good. I think that their offense is going to put up a shit ton of points. And I'm maybe hoping to God, maybe just fingers crossed, I'm I'm all in on Derek Carr this year. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
I think the offense is excellent. I think that AFC West just beats the shit out of itself. Like I think they're all
true,
good.
right? Yeah, that's the
gonna be
disclaimer I gave. Like, it is. If I don't, I know the NFC West has had some crazy years, but this might be like the best division in terms of just talent density that has ever existed. It's such a.
I don't think it's close. I think those AFC West years always had at least one team that was kind of meh. Like they had a Cardinals team or a Rams team that was like whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nobody. That AFC West is that's a playoffs right there.
Right.
Like that division is
that's a divisional round right there. Yeah. For sure. I think that there's a good chance if they don't kill each other too bad in the win-loss, there's a chance that all three make wild card with the new playoff system. But it's tough because they're gonna take chunks out of each other. So
there's no way y'all are still on this shit.
we were just closing it out, Kern.
Oh, perfect. All right, I had to be able to go watch the Bachelorette with Annie, so that's what I caught up on. It was a great episode, boys. Let me tell you, a lot of spicy things went down.
How do you feel about the Bachelorette thing?
Dude, you don't need to hide behind the Bachelorette. We all know you were watching VeggieTales pirate movie. It's okay.
Yep.
We already did it.
Did y'all get my list that I sent A&F?
Yeah,
VeggieTales. All right, good, perfect.
Let me.
How'd you like that Ronald Jones pick?
Oh, I thought it was really bad.
If he makes the roster, I think he
makes the roster. Well, anyway, this is two. Anyway, I'm gonna get off this. All right, I'm getting off. I was just opening this back up just to see and saw you assholes still in your talking. So anyway,
Kevin, since you're logging back on, we just did it all. I want to hear Super Bowl picks.
Yeah,
Super Bowl picks. Oh shit. Bills versus Saints. Who dat? We're going all the way. Jameis, baby. Let's go.
Oh my goodness.
Somehow not the biggest homer pick of the picks.
Dude, fuck no, dude. Hell no. No, like, the Bills are going to upset Cincinnati in the AFC Championship. It's going to be sad. But we're going to come through and we're going to pay tribute and, hold it down and reign supreme. Comeback player of the year, Jameis Winston's going to trounce and we're going to have another ring and I'm going to rub it all right in F's face. So, it's going to be great.
Right. Are we watching at Oak or are we watching elsewhere?
Oh, we can go to Ale and totally watch some games. I'm so game. I will watch.
Ale, that's it.
I'm free any Sunday to go watch football. So y'all just let me know.
I'm gonna close the show here.